delightful, charming, sumptuous, piquant, yummy. These are words you would normally use to describe a particularly juicy apple, or perhaps melon. But today, we're using them to introduce the world's best and most scrumptious video game music podcast, Bit Harmony.
You're listening to Bit Harmony, a video game music podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Seth.
Today we're talking about just kind of a bunch of remixes and rearrangements of just various video game music. There's no real rhyme or reason to any of it, really. It just kind of went through my video game music playlist and grabbed a whole bunch. I don't know. Is that how you approach the situation?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I had a couple of favorites that I was like, I want to make sure are represented in this episode, but for the most part, it was just like, let's just talk about some cool music.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a more music-focused episode than the past couple, so yeah, bear that in mind. If you need to take us off of 1.5 times speed, might be a good episode to do that on. Anyway, our intro this episode is the Collection Room from Sonic Generations, which is a rearrangement of Door into Summer from Knuckles Chaotix, and we'll talk about that after the break. But again, your intro music this episode is Collection Room Door into Summer from Sonic Generations. Collection Room, Door into Summer from Sonic Generations. This is the moment where I ask you, Seth, how big of a Sonic fan are you?
This is the moment in every friendship that you arrive to where you say, how big of a Sonic fan are you? I am no Andrew Wilkins when it comes to my Sonic fandom. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I think most of the Sonic games are like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sonic Generations is like on the upper end from what I remember anyway. I remember playing it and I remember liking it. I was never like over the moon about it. Like I remember when that game came out, Eric was like obsessed with it, and he has a whole diatribe about like the final boss or whatever, but
I will say
otherwise he loved it.
It is one of the worst final bosses in a video game that I've ever played. It's pretty bad.
But I liked it. I liked it just fine.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed on it too. Like as a nostalgia blast of Sonic stuff, like it's mostly fine as a game. The later levels get pretty bad actually. The more I think about it, but like the first like 2 sets of levels, it's like okay, I think they have something here. For those unaware, Sonic Generations was the anniversary game, but I don't remember what year it was for. Like the 25th, 20th. It was a while ago.
It was a long time ago at this point. It must have been like what, 2009, 2010 maybe.
So maybe it was like the 20th anniversary game.
Yeah.
And now we're at like the 35th anniversary or something like that.
Jesus. Yeah.
But yeah, so what they did was they had 2 different styles of Sonic gameplay, like pure side-scrolling and then like the modern kind of 3D, like not fully Sonic Adventure 3D, but like the on-rails sort of Sonic 3D stuff. You played as classic Sonic and modern Sonic. The best part about the game was hands down its soundtrack, which I feel like you could say that about a lot of Sonic games.
Fair.
And they had like different remixes of each stage for the classic and the modern versions. But anyway, none of that's that relevant here because this is just the Collection Room song, and it is from Knuckles Chaotix, Door into Summer. Have you ever played Knuckles Chaotix?
No. The only interaction that I've ever had with Knuckles Chaotix is its soundtrack.
Which is good.
And yeah, which I feel like Knuckles Chaotix soundtrack is kind of well known for being like for being kind of like No Reason to Go This Hard, you know, a little bit. Like I feel like I see this come up a lot in sort of the video game music community. And it was kind of nice listening to the original version and comparing it to this version. I hadn't heard either one of these songs in a while. It is pretty wild, like how dynamic and layered, like even the original version of that song is. And yeah, this is really true to the spirit of it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, just the fact that they remixed or rearranged Door into Summer it in itself is kind of crazy. Yeah, no, I love this rearrangement. I don't have that many notes beyond just the violins rule. It is one of my favorite Sonic songs, period. Like this rearrangement and the original both are just 2 of the best Sonic songs to me. I've been trying to find spots to insert some Sonic stuff the past 9 episodes of the show, so I'm glad I finally found some. Yeah, I guess that's a good point to kind of list off before we get into our generalities real quick, that when we're talking about rearrangements and remixes and blah, 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 we're kind of just talking about new versions of a song that didn't appear in the original game it was from. That sounds very complicated, but for instance, we didn't play the normal Door into Summer. We just played the rearrangement. So it can be from a different game. It can be just something on YouTube. It can be an OC remix, whatever. It just can't come from the original game it's from. I hope that makes sense. I think the rules are pretty clear. This is like the one time we actually have rules on this show. Otherwise, we're pretty laissez-faire around here.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, anything from a cover to rearrangement, a different way of playing the song, as long as it's just not the original as heard in the game version. So I don't know. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool one to kick us off with too, because like I don't know, like this one to me just feels very like it was interesting that the way this rearrangement is kind of handled, like the way they have that main melody coming in, that bass line, the twinkly chimes with it. My note on this, I don't have a lot of notes on it either. My big note on specifically Collection Room Door into Summer is strikes a good balance of anime opening emotional melancholy, but also funk. That's my note on it.
We talked about this kind of recently, but I sort of kind of pitched a potential idea for the show of like best songs that are like wedged away somewhere, like shoved in the closet somewhere. Because like,
Hidden.
yeah, like this is just in a menu basically. But yeah, we already covered Tekken 8 so thoroughly, and that seems like the king of that at this point. So maybe it's pointless.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would love to do like an episode about like pause music specifically. Yeah, there's a lot of fun ideas there.
But anyway, yeah, that's all I had for Door into Summer Collection Room. Did you have anything else there?
No, yeah, that was my one note.
Yeah, I kind of also purposely picked a song as an opening that we didn't have that much to say about beyond just giving us an excuse to talk about Sonic. Another reason this episode is just kind of good, just as a heads up, Seth and I have both been kind of through it in the past like week.
It's been a hell of a week.
So this episode ended up being accidentally well timed in that like there wasn't like we didn't do any research. That's why this is like a music heavy episode. That Monkey Ball episode, even though that was 2 episodes ago, I'm still wiped from all the research that went into that one. So this was just kind of a nice break. So just as a heads up, that's why this episode's probably going to be even more lax, I feel like, than usual. It's kind of just an excuse for Seth and I to hang out and talk about music.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm super thankful for it. It's really... I feel bad because we had like some people join the Discord and like the Patreon this week, and it's like, oh man, y'all picked a wild week to get involved with all this. But it's nice to have like, something like Bit Harmony where we get to just like kind of hang out and have some fun and enjoy a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, and I guess speaking of normalcy, then we can move into our general housekeeping section. We don't have any reviews, right? But we do have a comment.
Oh my god, I love this comment so much. Which I must have mentioned on a recent episode that Spotify does this now. So yeah, you can actually comment on episodes on Spotify now, which is pretty cool. And like, just whenever we log into the Spotify account, we can see your comment. So I was just on the Bit Harmony Spotify account. I saw this comment come in. I thought it was so lovely. And it's from Liger Woods 330.
Also a great name.
Really good name. And they said, I stopped what I was doing at work when I found out you can leave comments on Spotify. I'm so glad Bit Harmony exists. Making music has been a huge part of my life, but admittedly finding inspiration has been hard while working and doing the normal day-to-day junk. But listening to the songs you play and both of your outlooks on video game music in general is contagious and makes me so excited to play silly songs on my synth. I just really need you guys to know how great your show is. So... thank you so much. That was the most. That I genuinely got like emotional reading that comment.
Yeah, I did too. When you sent that to me, I was like, "Damn!" Like that one really hit.
I really, really, really appreciate that comment. I thank you for making music, and thank you for taking the time to tell people that you enjoy what they make. So that's very meaningful to me.
Yeah, everything Seth just said is very meaningful. Hearing that's one of the nicest things anyone has ever said to me, especially in regards to any kind of creative stuff I'm doing. I also want to say "Silly Songs on My Synth" sounds like a great like album title or something.
Okay. So, did you ever watch VeggieTales?
No.
Have you ever watched Okay.
Well,
I grew
in
up Christian,
school,
right?
in school once they played it. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up Christian, right? So if you grew up Christian in the 90s, you probably watched VeggieTales. There's a recurring segment on VeggieTales called "Silly Songs with Larry."
Okay.
One of the main characters of the show is a cucumber named Larry the Cucumber.
Okay, I was about to ask what vegetable Larry was.
Yeah, and they would be like, "Now it's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry sings a silly song."
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
And it was just like something like that. And anyway, play Silly Songs on My Synth really made me think of that.
And I've never gotten to tell this story. I don't think I've ever told you this story either. But this comment and talking about like how like us talking about music makes them want to play music and stuff. It makes me think about like kind of the cyclical nature of like art and like inspiration and like where you, I don't know, get inspiration from. And it's funny because it's kind of like a weird mini circle in another circle. The main inspiration for me loving YouTube comments, this is actually something that happened to me back around like 10 years-ish ago. Was into torrenting a lot of music, just find okay, let me download the Doors discography. Okay, let me download whatever came to mind. Like, because this is before Spotify was as popular as it is. I think it existed at the time, but it still wasn't to the level it is now. I think. Do you remember the show on HBO? I'm guessing not. It was called Hello Ladies. It was with Stephen Merchant.
No.
It had a very, very, very good soundtrack. I think the first time I ever heard "Year of the Cat" by Al Stewart was on Hello Ladies.
What a song! Oh my god,
what a song! Yeah, one of the best songs of all time. It was like the end credits of like an episode on that show. I think it only lasted a season, so that's why I assume like basically no one has heard of this show. But
oh my god!
So because of that, I forget what Hall & Oates song they played on that episode, but I downloaded like a discography of Hall & Oates music. I'm sorry if I'm admitting to something illegal right now, but I think the statute of limitations is over here. But anyway, I don't remember which album this was off of, but there's a song called Ice, and then in parentheses, demo. I tried looking for it on YouTube because I wanted to link it to someone. It just wasn't on there. So I was like, okay, I'll just upload it to YouTube myself. So I did. A few years later, I guess this is like a little mini YouTube comment sharing section right now. A user named SaintsFan342000 commented on the video and said, during Q&A at John Oates' book signing in Austin, Texas on April 4th, a young woman asked John why the song did not appear on the original LP. He had no idea what she was talking about and had her pull the song up on her phone and play it for him. When he heard it, his jaw dropped and he said he absolutely had no recollection of the song. Super cool moment. So, like, that's why I love YouTube comments. Because it was this whole chain of weird events of John Oates made a demo song that didn't make it onto the full album of a Hall & Oates album. I found it on a torrent site years later and uploaded it to YouTube. Someone else heard that song and said, I need to ask John Oates about this song. And they did. And John Oates is like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she pulls up my YouTube video and he plays it for him at this book signing. And then this other person comes and comments on my video about this event. That's what this comment made me think of. That is what Liger Woods' comment made me think of like this endless like cyclical nature. Because I also think about like, in 30 years, like I'm assuming we're not going to be doing bit harmony in 30 years, for better or for worse. I don't know. Who knows if we're all even going to be around in 30 years? But if the internet is still up, I assume people will still be able to access bit harmony in some way. And who knows if like some random person will listen to bit harmony 30 years from now and be like, wow, this was a cool podcast for its time, and then go out of their way to like contact one of us. I don't know. It really made me kind of like wistful, and just thinking about like the cyclical nature of art and inspiration and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think of I don't often get the chance to talk about this, although ironically I think this has come up multiple times on the show now. But somebody that somebody that I reference a lot, like in terms of my inspirations and the people who have inspired me my whole life, and like just sort of my morals and my value set, is Mr. Rogers. And Mr. Rogers, I remember watching an interview with him. I've seen probably 100 hours of interviews of Mr. Rogers over the years, and he mentioned like his sort of approach to having guests on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like he would get people like Yo-Yo Ma or whatever to just come and like play the cello in front of kids or whatever, and not like, not even really like just come on to the show, and we don't need any like bombast or pomp or circumstance about it. I just want you to do what you're passionate about in front of people, because it's not only contagious, but it's inspirational. And, kids watching Yo-Yo Ma come and just like love what he's doing, playing the cello or whatever it is, like inspires them to want to do that sort of thing for themselves. I think that like passion is infectious, and it's funny that Liger Woods like literally uses the word contagious, and I'm really happy that like that exposing them to contagious love of music helps them make their own music. And yeah, I don't know, that kind of thing is really powerful to me, and it makes me as somebody who, you know, wears my heart on my sleeve and, you know, makes my passions very well known. It's very encouraging, and I think that more people could probably use a little bit of like vulnerability and like saying like, hey man, like this is what I love and this is how I love it. And I think we could maybe inspire each other more if more people did that.
Yeah, so. I agree. So thank you, Liger Woods, for not only the comment, but also for sending us already so early on into this huge tangent.
Into a massive tangent. Oh my God. This is going to be rough, isn't it?
With that said, let's move on to our normal post-mortem section for the last episode. Real quick note, it's not about Stardew Valley or the episode, but Pepper Grinder, which is our third episode, it just came out on PS5 and Xbox, like, I don't know, a day or two ago. So if you are interested in Pepper Grinder but didn't own a Switch or a PC, you can play Pepper Grinder now. You should probably do that. You
should. It's one of the best games of the year, probably. It's certainly one of the best soundtracks of the year.
Yeah, so. It's way, way up there for me. I don't know. I just feel like I have a vested interest in trying to ensure the success of Pepper Grinder. I don't know.
Sure.
It's near and dear to my heart because we did it so early on in the show, and not to mention that both the composer and the creator of Pepper Grinder like listened to the episode or whatever. So
yeah,
it feels personal to me. This time it's personal.
This time it's personal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we said it at the same time. This time it's personal with Pepper Grinder.
That feels like something that someone would say in Pepper Grinder. There's a lot of like John Wick revenge feeling stuff going on in Pepper Grinder. When it comes to the Stardew Valley episode, I real quick want to mention, because I forgot to, despite the fact that my wife reminded me multiple times, to mention that the soundtrack is free on Bandcamp, just as another example of how cool Concerned Ape seems like. That he just
that's
is like,
sick,
yeah, you can just have this for free. So that's just cool. I think Shy Guy mentioned it in the Discord after the fact too. I just forgot to mention it because of how damn tired we both were when we recorded that episode.
Yeah, it's funny because you had mentioned that to me. Like, you're like, yeah, listening back, you can really tell how tired we both were. And I didn't feel it in the moment, I guess, but listening back, I can definitely tell. That was the one episode that we recorded like very outside of our usual time frame. Like, we usually have a generalized time frame when we record the show. It's usually kind of like early in the morning for me, kind of middle in the afternoon for you. But I think at that point it was like early morning for you, very late night for me, sort of thing. And
it was like 6 a.m. for me, and like so 11 p.m. for you when we started. But that was like, you know, that doesn't account for the 3.5 hours following.
Exactly. And you could probably tell. Like I said, I don't remember feeling that way in the moment, but listening back, I'm like, oh yeah, we were tired, huh?
Yeah, you can hear it. There's way more like pauses between you and I talking than usual. Even if I remove a little bit of it in the editing phase, it's still like, oh yeah, like we're having to like take extra time to register what the other person is saying. Kind of thing.
Barely hanging on. My wife and I, there's a I don't know which insurance company it is, but there's a new kind of string of insurance company commercials where it's like this guy, I think it's Dean Winters, and he's playing like the humanization of mayhem and like just the things that your insurance is, you know, preparing you for, sort of thing. And one of them, my wife and I quote it all the time now. For one of them, he's like, I'm a rusty old boat hitch and I'm barely hanging on. My wife and I say that to each other all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. In terms of other Stardew Valley episode notes I wanted to make, we weren't able to summon the 1.6 update, but we did summon Concerned Ape retweeting a video of the New York show for the Festival of Seasons. That was like a week after the episode went up or something. That was a cool little, it's just a 5-minute video. They showed like
cute.
they showed the venue, and Concerned Ape was interviewed a little bit. I thought the most interesting note was, for one, I didn't realize he wasn't trained in making music. I mean, that's not. It kind of makes sense to me, like hearing again. We talked about his dirty opium den style of music making, but it makes sense now knowing that. But he was saying in the interview that like making music has always been his like main passion, but he could never convince anyone to listen to his music. And so he said it then became clear that he had to make a farming sim just to make a soundtrack around it and have people listen to his music that way, which was pretty good Concerned Ape.
Yeah, it was a cute video. I enjoyed that. I mean, would have been nice to hear some of the music, but it's fine.
The fact that there is not even 5 seconds of there's no you don't hear the symphony at all. It's wild. Like, even just give me a tiny little bit, man.
Just want to hit, man. Just want to taste.
That makes me think, I would hope that they're eventually going to sell a recorded one at some point, and that maybe that's why they didn't want to give you even just a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the last note I had was Spriteless left a voicemail. What was that? Was that 2 episodes prior, I think? Or no, I don't remember anymore, but talking about or no, it was on the last episode.
It was, because the timing of it was weirdly perfect, right?
Right, about like solo developed games. And they brought up Super Turrican, and you and I don't really know anything about Super Turrican. I wasn't even aware that there are apparently 2 games called Super Turrican. One is an NES game, the other is a Super Nintendo game. And apparently it is the NES game that was a solo creation. And Spriteless did link a song. It's called like Underground Lair / Alien Nest, which was pretty cool. It definitely has like a Castlevania vibe. Yeah.
I listened to it too. I liked it, and yeah, they made the point that there was like enough like variation in the arrangement for it to like remain interesting, you know, throughout. And yeah, it was a cool little song. I really appreciated that additional context.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know there was an NES one. I knew that the series existed on like the Super Nintendo or whatever, but yeah, had absolutely no idea it existed on the NES. Also, Spriteless talked about that you could roll up into like a spiky ball, and that predates Sonic the Hedgehog. That's pretty cool. A lot of Sonic talk already this episode.
Weirdly, a Sonic-centric episode, yeah.
If only they could all be like this. Did you have any other thoughts on the Stardew Valley episode before we get to the voicemails?
No. Good episode, though. Despite all the tired energy, I was still thought it was a good episode when I listened back.
Yeah. It was good. It's not my favorite episode of the show, but at some point they can't all be your favorites, right? Like just what happened. But anyway, I hope everyone still enjoyed it, and if you haven't listened, despite what I'm saying, you should go back and listen to the Stardew Valley episode. But anyway, I guess we can move on to voicemails. We got 3 of them once again this episode, and I mentioned it last time. At some point, if we keep getting voicemails at this pace, we'll probably do something about it, so we're not answering this many voicemails per episode, especially where there's going to be a break for each one of them.
Sure.
But for this episode, it seemed fine. I don't really care. It's fine for this episode.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think we will have to like and I don't want to discourage people from sending in voicemails, but it might just be handled a little differently in the future, I guess, depending on the episode. Because, like, it is funny when you listen to that Stardew Valley episode, for example, where we also had 3 voicemails that also had breaks. Like, I think it was like an hour and a half almost before we even started talking about Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So that's on us.
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, this, like Seth said also, this is not to discourage you from sending voicemails. If anything, I want you to send in more voicemails. It's just that I think what's going to happen is that maybe voicemails that are more time sensitive or more relevant to that specific episode will get prioritized, and then like spare emails get saved for a future episode. Or my dream would be that we get enough emails per like month that we could do a whole bonus episode where we just answer voicemails. That would be,
I love that. Yes.
That would be my dream. So if people want to send in voicemails, please do so. Don't let that discourage you. But for right now, I think our first voicemail was from Presto.
That's right. Let's hear it. And normally I test these before we start recording, so hopefully this works.
Yep, totally forgot.
I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, here's Presto.
Hello, Matt and Seth. It's Presto, back again with another voicemail call-in thing. I promise this one won't go over 3
Hi,
minutes.
Presto. Yeah.
Maybe. That's a solid maybe. So, first off, bit of a post-mortem, as you call it, on the Stardew episode. I really enjoyed listening to it. As a person who knows nothing about the game, I too thought it was just, it's just a farming sim. But the way that you described it makes me really want to go play Stardew now, and I don't have time for that, but it is like actually firmly on my wish list and a game that I want to play now, so there you go. As far as your reactions to the Forgotten Land song that I sent in, you mentioned that a lot of people were saying that it was their favorite song, the Forgotten Land soundtrack. It is not my favorite song in the Forgotten Land soundtrack. You got Blue Blue Breeze, you got Invasion at the House of Horrors, which is already played, you got the Two Planets Approach the Roach Lemon, I think it's called, the final boss theme, or the Meta Knight, not the Meta Knight, the Morpho Knight boss theme, which is also just a banger. I love Forgotten Land soundtrack. Kirby's also one of my favorite soundtracks. Anyways, enough about that. I just picked that because I figured it was the exact opposite of Stardew Valley, so I thought it'd be fun to put in there. Today's random song of the episode is actually going to match with the theming of the episode, which is remixes. So my favorite video game music remixer is a remixer called NoteBlock. He makes remixes of mostly Nintendo stuff, but also literally whatever. Like, he has a remix of Chug Jug With You. It's really good. It's Chug Jug With You. Like, the most memed after song, but like, the remix is great. He has, and same like Peaches, he has one of those too, but he also does like really good, just emotional medleys. And my favorite piece of his, that's honestly just one of my favorite songs of all time, is his Rainbow Road medley. So this is my petition to please play it on the show and talk about it, because I love that medley. And since I'm here, I also actually wrote a haiku about it. I wrote, glowing roads drive on, generations pass you by, eternal rainbows.
Wow, dude.
Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you probably in the next episode. Bye.
Wow. Thank you, Presto. What a voicemail that was. What a journey.
Yeah. It's funny because my hopes and dreams were that other people would start sending in haikus in the voicemails, but I didn't want to plant the idea in anyone's head. So I'm just like, I think if we do this long enough, people start doing it. So I'm glad Presto was the one that broke through that barrier. Yeah, genuinely really like that haiku.
It's a great haiku. Yeah, he crushed it. What a good haiku that was. Also, like what a good what a good call out to submit a song that's relevant to the episode too. I had never heard of NoteBlock before. So it was really cool to be introduced to this person, you know, via this voicemail, and that Rainbow Road medley was really good.
Yeah, I over the course of putting this episode together, I subscribed to at least like 3 or 4 more YouTube channels. It was just good. So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll go on our first break, and we'll play y'all the Rainbow Road medley mentioned by Presto in that voicemail, and we'll be right back. And that was the Rainbow Road Medley by NoteBlock, as requested by Presto. And yeah, like Seth said, I had never heard of NoteBlock before. I didn't have a ton of time this episode to like scour their entire library of previous remixes, but I did listen to a few and I quite liked them. There was one specifically, it was a 3DS internet settings remix.
Yeah.
For one, 3DS internet settings is an insanely good song for a thing you're probably only going to hear once in your life. I get a kick out of whenever anyone is remixing like menu interfaces as opposed to actual video game songs, you know?
Yeah, I love that too. I listened to it as well. It's really good. Like it's one of those things where it's like the 3DS in general like had such a great little collection of like system music, and it makes me really sad that the Switch has not a trace of that.
Yeah. You know what though? The clicks are good all around on the Switch menu interfaces. It's just they almost do feel musical or something, but yeah, there's no actual music like anywhere. And you know, I know the excuse usually brought up is that it helps for like making sure the system is running fast and smooth, and I get it, and that's fine, but like you could still put something. You gotta give me a little something. I don't know.
I'm sure the 20 megabyte MP3 is making a huge load on the Switch's system.
I will say when it comes to the Rainbow Road medley, for some reason I wasn't expecting it to literally be a medley of like all the Rainbow Road themes. I mean, some of the sections are pretty short, but it still was like all of the mainline Rainbow Road themes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really impressed with the drums in this. They're like big, like stadium drums.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I was listening to like Bon Jovi or something like that. Just like these big sort of performative like drums. I don't know, that really stood out to me. Also, I always find Super Mario Kart music weirdly nostalgic, despite the fact that it's pretty easily my least favorite Mario Kart game. It's just really nostalgic to me for some reason every time I hear that kind of weird, like Super Mario Kart music is weird. Like it just sounds kind of like chunky and kind of gross and weird, and I find it very nostalgic for some reason.
I feel like I'm about to open a can of worms, but you saying Super Mario Kart is your least favorite Mario Kart is wild to me.
I think so. I don't know.
That's honestly maybe the craziest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still like good, but it's probably my least favorite of the core series. I think. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to sit down and really think about it, but it definitely is in the bottom of my favorite Mario Kart games.
Goofing aside, I mean, I am being partially serious, but I'm mostly exaggerating for the goofs. Like, I know what you mean about Super Mario Kart having like a weird specific sound. Like this was, they didn't, homogenize the Mario Kart like aesthetic and whatever until Mario Kart DS, I think is when they really started doing that. So Super Mario Kart being the first entry in the franchise. I mean, like Donkey Kong Jr. is a racer in it. It's weird all around. That. Yeah. As someone that likes the weirder side of Mario, which I know you also do, like, yeah, it's cool, but it is its own weird little flavor. And it's so Mario World themed in the same way that like Double Dash is very Mario Sunshine themed. But yeah, I love Super Mario Kart. I would probably rather play Super Mario Kart than Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart Wii. I quite like Super Mario Kart, but again, that might be opening up a whole bad thing. We shouldn't have a voicemail number. But yeah, I will say I think my favorite part was specifically, well, I guess two favorite parts. Around 140 when they get into the Mario Kart DS Rainbow Road. Nothing specifically about the instrumentation or whatever. I just really like Mario Kart DS Rainbow Road.
Sure.
That's one of like 2 or 3 Rainbow Roads that are not in Mario Kart 8 at this point, which kind of sucks because it's one of the ones I like the most.
Just put them all in there, dude. Yeah. You've done so much.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's dumb to not have it in there. And then also Mario Kart Double Dash, which again, I think is another Rainbow Road that isn't in 8. But that section started around 218. It had like a really hip hop feel going on when it reached that part. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like this is probably pretty obvious to call out, but like they end with Mario Kart 64, and like the build up to that ending is insane.
Mhm.
Like it feels iconic. Like it feels like if Rainbow Road was like a stage in Mario Galaxy or something, this is what it would sound like.
Right.
You know, yeah, the build up to the finale of that medley is truly insane.
Yeah, it's cool. Also, yeah, like in terms of like what's the word I want to use? I don't know, like grandeur and stuff. Like Mario Kart 64, Rainbow Road. Despite Mario Kart 64 being hands down the worst Mario Kart, I do think it has.
It's near the bottom of mine too. It's near the bottom of mine too. Yeah.
I do think it has one of the best soundtracks, and yeah, Rainbow Road Mario Kart 64 is very, very good. And yeah, you're right. It is kind of like the obvious choice to like build up to for this, but like it's the obvious choice for a reason. And yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't have any other notes for it beyond. Again, thank you, Presto, for introducing me to what was it, NoteBlock.
Yeah,
like I said, I subscribed within like 30 seconds of hearing that 3DS Internet Settings remix. So
yeah, for sure. Thanks, Presto, and thanks for the haiku, Presto.
Yes,
really good stuff.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The next one I think is from Shy Guy, and the voicemail itself was actually pretty quick, and we gotta hear this. So let's play it.
What's up, horn boys? Shy Guy again. I got one for you. Ultimate Chicken Horse. Amazing game title, but also an amazing soundtrack with more horns than even you guys can handle. Check it out.
Wow. so quick to the point.
It's been like a week since I heard it, and I forgot that it opened up the way it did.
I lost my mind when I first heard that. That Sup Horn Boys call out. Yes. I very, very much appreciate that.
He messaged me privately right after he sent it, and he's like, hey, if the tone is confusing and specifically the end is confusing, there's a reason for that, and he's apparently going to explain like later after the episode airs.
Okay.
So it must be some kind of reference to something, because yes, in the couple of years that I've known Shy Guy, never heard this kind of tone coming out of him. I guess also,
but I like it.
I like it too. Maybe it was also meant to be in like direct contrast with like the ASMR tone of the Stardew Valley episode,
right?
But yeah, I got a kick out of it.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop, and I love it, and I like the Horn Boys, moniker living on. I like that being our legacy. If nothing else, after this show has run its course, when I'm 65 years old, I hope that people are still calling me Horn Boy. I hope, yeah, at my retirement party or my funeral, it just says Horn Boy in banner above my coffin or whatever. Yeah, he sent over. Again, he contacted me right after he left the voicemail and was saying, hey, if you don't have time to listen to the whole Ultimate Chicken Horse soundtrack, here's 3 songs if you want to just like check these ones out. And yeah, I liked all 3 of them. We're going to play Dance Party for you, and it kind of rules. I don't know anything about Ultimate Chicken Horse, but we'll talk about that after the break. But yeah, this is like Horn Boy Paradise, all 3 songs that he sent over. So I guess we'll play a Dance Party right now from Ultimate Chicken Horse, and then we'll talk about it.
And that was Dance Party from Ultimate Chicken Horse. Very fitting name for a song that's kind of nutty. It's kind of buck wild.
Yeah, it's all over the place. It is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not just dynamic, but like emergent. Like it definitely changes like throughout the course of the song quite a lot. There is an insane, like, it's got funky bass, it's got brassy horns, it's got twinkly keys. Like it's everything that I love. It is just like it is a buffet of things that I love in video game music. So I like it.
It not only is it very Horn Boys, it really sounds like we're getting dangerously close to talking about something else when we're saying something is very Horn Boys.
Yeah.
It is very Horn Boys, but it's also my other favorite like sub genre of video game music, which is getting up to something music. I think we've talked about this multiple times too, but anytime it feels like Little Rascals-y, and like, not that this sounds like Little Rascals, but like it sounds like someone's like sneaking around a factory, you know, like somewhere they shouldn't be. Anytime that's going on, I get a kick out of it in like any kind of music, but especially video game music. I guess maybe because video game music it's music accompanying something that you're playing, so like it's more immersive, like when you're getting into trouble, I guess, as opposed to like watching a movie with getting up to something music. I will say the soundtrack is credited to Vibe Avenue, which is also really sick. I don't know
really
if that's
good.
like a singular person or a group or something, but the name was very perfect for something like that. Didn't have too many notes beyond. So when I make my notes, I listen through the song once and try not pause it. And then like I'll listen on replays if I need to or whatever, and then make further notes. So like my notes got interrupted because like at 122 I was writing something about like, the horns are coming in like full force, like blah blah blah. But then by the time I was like getting ready to like wrap up my thoughts on that, not that there's that many thoughts on that, but like by the time I was getting done, the horns are coming in at even fuller force at like 2 minutes and 12 seconds in, which I don't know. I wasn't I thought we had already reached like the apex of the horns, but they came in even fuller later, which is cool.
It's so, I literally have those exact timestamps written in my notes. 122 and 212, literally those exact timestamps. Main build at 122 where the horns really start to go crazy. The main melody is so good, OMG. And then I wrote sax solo at 212 with 4 exclamation marks. And then one thing that I really liked at 257, it does like a very classic like jazz run, which is like just kind of like a little bass walk and like percussion, just like the most classic standard. If you see live jazz, like you will see that every time. And I really love that they kind of like, it's almost like the song just like throws everything at you, and then it kind of gives you that little break for a few seconds, and then it just kind of melds back into the core melody to finish. I really love that, just little like a boom, 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 you know, it's just really good stuff. Really good. And you say you never played this?
I don't even really know what this is. My thought is that based on the key art, it looks like some kind of like goofy platformer, but that's about my only impression of it.
Yes, so I played this on PS4, I think. The gimmick with this game, it's like a multiplayer party game, except so think of like a Runbow or something like that. Except the gimmick of it is before you start kind of like challenging each other on like the platformer stages, each player actually gets to like kind of create the level. So when the round starts, each player gets to place like a platform or a trap or whatever, and your goal is to like not only trip up the other players but still make it possible for you to complete the goal. It's really unique. It's really interesting, and it's a really fun like kind of low stakes party game.
Yeah, no, that actually sounds like really up my alley. I'm just guessing it's because I wasn't at that point in my life. I didn't really have people to play like local video games with. It's probably why I never really got to play it. That sounds very familiar. I was thinking of Cloudberry Kingdom. Like that's kind of what it was making me think of, but I didn't know. Like that's just based off of the key art and stuff.
Wow, I haven't thought of Cloudberry Kingdom in a long time.
I don't think anyone has. Yeah.
There's definitely some. I was thinking about like Wii U indie games recently, specifically. Like there are a few games that were on Wii U that like are still like that were kind of trapped there. Like, did you ever play Lovely Planet on Wii U?
I think I played the demo. That was like a shooter, right?
Yeah, it's like a shooter with the art style of like Katamari or something, but it's a very like speed run, fast pace, like almost proto Neon White or something, where like it's just about killing all the enemies and getting to the goal as quickly as possible. But it's like a very good feeling 60 FPS shooter on the Wii U. Yeah, I think about that. Cloudberry Kingdom is just like a very difficult like platformer on the Wii U, and yeah, I was thinking about Wii U indies somewhat recently. Yeah,
I mean, I'm always thinking about the Wii U in general. It's the greatest system ever made. That's not true, but I have a fondness for the Wii U. Did you have any other notes for Dance Party?
The only other note that I have, and this is funny because we talked a little bit about this with one of the songs from Banana Rumble on the Monkey Ball episode, but like this also kind of gives me a little bit of like Cartoon Network or like Boomerang commercial energy. So just the I guess just the hyper kind of like over the top jazzy vibe of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, now knowing that it's like a kind of party game platformer that also makes like the getting up to something aspect of the feel of the music make a lot more sense to me. Because again, when I saw this key art and there's like giraffes and stuff going on, I'm like, I don't know what this has to do with like these crazy horns going on. But it's cool and I won't question it. And now, yeah, everything kind of clicked into place with that. But yeah, thank you, Shy Guy, for sending that voicemail in. Again,
thank you, Shy Guy.
I personally never would have heard the soundtrack if you hadn't sent this in. So I appreciate it. This went right onto my video game music playlist.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think the final voicemail we have, our friend Parker is back with another one. So let's hear from Parker.
It's me again, Parker. So, it's been a while since my last voice message. So, I got another video game BGM soundtrack to research. How about... Okay, go on Spotify and type in Team Fortress Fight Songs, the music of Team Fortress 2, and pick one of your favorite songs from Team Fortress 2. Mine is the main theme of Team Fortress 2. And also, did you know, in the Rocket Gems waltz, and they're sharing the same motif, like, do, 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 do. So, again, I love your podcast. I just saved the Super Monkey Ball. I downloaded the Super Monkey Ball episode on my Apple Podcast.
Let's go.
Because that's my voicemail, my first voicemail. So I have to go now. Bye.
Thanks, Parker.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Parker.
Yeah, thanks, Parker. Now you got a second voicemail, so you're going to have to download another episode. Before we go on the break, I just want to mention that I have never played Team Fortress 2. I don't know. I'll be honest, I didn't know that like this is like a soundtrack people get jazzed for, but
me either.
I based on like what I was seeing in the YouTube comments, people really like the Team Fortress 2 soundtrack. And like I said, I had basically no experience with it. We'll talk about it after the break. I do think the song I picked I think the reason it stuck out to me was because it sounds completely different than every other song on the soundtrack.
Sure.
Every other song on the soundtrack was very kind of like 1960s, like spy thriller-y, like bass guitar stuff going on. This is the only one that like really, really, really stuck out to me just because it sounds so different from the rest. And that is a Petite Chou-Fleur. That's probably not how you pronounce that, but it's fine. I don't speak French. So we're going to play Petite Chou-Fleur for you, and we will be right back. And that was Petite Chou-Fleur. That should be the last time I have to butcher that on this episode. Yeah, I would love to know, and we'll talk about it because I know you at least have like a little bit more experience with Team Fortress 2 than I do. I would love to know where this song plays. Much like when we talk about like the Tekken 8, like Hibiscus and stuff, like where is this playing in Team Fortress 2? I was wondering if it was just like in a trailer at some point or something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's possible, because when TF2 first came out, they were doing like a ton of like video marketing for it, like the whole like meet the spy and meet the heavy and all that stuff. Like every character had like a little like short film sort of thing, so it's possible that's where this comes from. I imagine it's probably associated with the spy just in general,
right? Yeah,
because he's like the French like kind of smoking, you know, character. Yeah, I played TF2 when it first came out. Like the Orange Box in general, I spent so much time with, and so I played it a decent bit. I probably played it for like a few months there on Xbox 360 specifically, but yeah, like it was interesting to hear that people hold the soundtrack in high regard, because to be honest, I never think of TF2 for its soundtrack. But yeah, it was interesting listening to this track that you chose, because it's pretty much, I think, weirdly, the perfect summation of kind of the vibe of TF2, which is equal parts like classy and well made, and also extraordinarily stupid and goofy. You know, like that's kind of the exact vibe that this song I think conveys, and that's very appropriate for TF2. And the game now is like totally unrecognizable from when it first came out, and I think that was 2007 the Orange Box came out with TF2. So that's almost 20 years ago. The only other note I have for this is it has, because again, this is a very like French, you know, sort of song, a lot of like classical French instruments. It's also got these little like French Baroque strings like in the background the whole time that were very much giving me Silent Hill. Okay. The way that the Silent Hill theme also kind of utilizes that instrumentation reminded me a lot of that, weirdly. So I was thinking of it as almost like a horror adjacent song.
It's funny, yeah. You got Silent Hill from it. I got Frog Copter from it, which is the most base, base surface level comparison, because Frog Copter is just this. It's just this music.
Yeah. Frog Copter's sick too. For anybody who doesn't know what Matt's talking about, it's called Spin Frog All Aboard the Frog Copter, and it's like a indie version of Kururin, essentially.
Yeah,
so.
Frog Copter. We won't go off on a 30-minute tangent about Frog Copter right now, but it is really cool. I think it costs like $10 or maybe even less on the eShop. It rules. Those devs seem like they're making like the exact type of games that I want to play, kind of.
Absolutely.
In terms of other notes, yeah, I didn't have that much else. Yeah, my only experience with TF2, I bought the Orange Box like right after it came out on Steam. Like I bought a box at the store. Like I didn't buy it on Steam, but I bought the Orange Box at a retail store, and then it just had like a code to redeem it on Steam. Because like digital storefronts were new at the time, and Steam was new at the time, you know, didn't really understand it. And yeah, I bought it mostly just to play Portal. Like I was 16 years old. I'm like, okay, everyone's talking about Portal. I want to play Portal. Played Portal and Half-Life 2 on it. Never touched TF2. So back then, I believe TF2 is free to play now, but it wasn't like you had to own the Orange Box back then, or maybe you could buy it separately. I don't remember, but it still cost money. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, I see you own TF2 on Steam. Do you mind if I just log into your Steam account and play TF2 on it? I don't want to buy it when I can just use yours." I'm like, "Yeah, go for it. I don't care." So he played like thousands of hours of TF2 on my account, and then he stopped using it, or maybe I changed the password and forgot or whatever. But yeah, he stopped playing TF2 at some point on my account. But for years after, I would get like at least once a month messages from people that were like, "Hey, I see you have this TF2 item sitting in your inventory. Can you send it to me?" And I was like, "No." I don't know. I think to this day, my Steam inventory still has TF2 items. I feel like I may be opening myself up to getting hacked or something by saying that, but I looked into it and they weren't anything super valuable either. It's not like it was rare skins or something. It was just random TF2 items. So that's
hats or whatever.
It wasn't even hats. I don't think it was just some garbage. I don't know, but like apparently people really wanted it. Maybe people were just like looking for any items sitting in people's TF2 inventory. One of them even was like, "Hey man, we played TF2 together." And I'm like, "Well, for a variety of reasons, no, we did not. Like, I promise you, we did not."
I thought that's where you were going. I thought you were saying that people were messaging you being like, "Yo, we need our engineer back" or something like that.
I never got anything like that. It was just people trying to convince me that I should send them these TF2 items in my inventory. It's possible I took them out of my inventory, like and like put it on my account. I don't remember, but that's my main experience of TF2. Also, there was a Reply All episode where he was investigating the current state of TF2, and this itself was a few years ago now, but like it sounds like a hellscape. It sounds like it's like real weird in there now, and like Valve refuses to fix the game, and it's just full of like cheat engine stuff and like hackers and all this. Like it doesn't sound like a good time
Wild
anymore.
West.
Yeah, which is what I like about stuff like that. Like when we were playing Halo 2 back in the day, back in like 2004 or 5, we spent a whole summer playing Halo 2, and we would sometimes get into like hacked servers, and people are just like just jumping into the sky and like blasting themselves all over the place. Like that, I do like that, but that's a good kind of like hacked server. I don't know if this is like people are hacking servers looking for like cryptocurrencies or whatever hellscape is going on nowadays.
Yeah, maybe it's some weird junk like that. I remember whenever, but before like frequent patching was really like the norm. I remember when Call of Duty 4 came out and a bunch of my friends and I were playing it, like people had discovered like a pretty significant bug where you could just get out of bounds on any of the multiplayer maps and make yourself unkillable while like you could shoot into the map but nobody could shoot you.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
You know, and so that was kind of wild, and they had to fix that, but it still took like a couple of weeks, you know, for them to fix it. So the multiplayer was just literally unplayable because like any match you would get to is just a race to who could like get out of bounds essentially, and then it would just break.
Dude, do you remember with Mario Kart 7 when that second Wuhu Island track was broken? Like if you went off at the right spot, it would just warp you to the last chunk of the race. Man, I remember one time. Okay, I know we're way off the rails, but it's fine. We're about to get to the bulk of the episode. I used to be disgusting at Mario Kart, so like it's not something I like to brag about. But like when Mario Kart DS came out, and that was like the first like mainstream online Nintendo game ever made, I would get home from school, do my homework, and just do nothing but Mario Kart DS Online for like 7 hours straight, like every day in high school. Honestly, there was probably something wrong with me, but that's all I did for like a year of my life. My win-loss record on Mario Kart DS, this is not a joke. It was like 4,000 wins and like 30-something losses. It was absolutely disgusting, and that is not an exaggeration. And I'm not saying that to brag because it doesn't mean anything anyway nowadays, especially because I'm not that good anymore. It's been way too long. But the reason I bring this all up is because I refused to do the Wuhu Island skip in Mario Kart 7. It was like undignified to me. There was one time I still got first place on that Wuhu Island track when I did not do the skip and other people did, and it was like the proudest gaming moment of my life. Like I could have died that day and everything would be fine. It was fantastic.
MLG. He was really MLG. He really saw the light. I've never been. You know what's funny? Like I've never been a very competitive Mario Kart player ever in my life.
Don't be.
Yeah. Double Dash is the closest I ever got to being competitive, which I think is why people are very like hit or miss on Double Dash, but I think that like my memories of playing that game somewhat competitively is why I hold Double Dash a bit on a pedestal in my memory. And like I'm fine, I'm competent at Mario Kart or whatever, but I'm not like, you know, incredible. But I do remember like doing some fun like competitive stuff on Double Dash, even after people figured out. I don't know if you're familiar with Warp Pipe, the service Warp Pipe.
I never used it, but yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, my friend Ira had Warp Pipe set up, and we could actually like play online and stuff, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I have fond memories of that.
That's that real stuff when you're setting up like fake servers to play Mario Kart Double Dash online. Like that's real. That's when it gets that, we're each disgusting in our own ways, and that's nice to know.
We're doing that. It was like we had a little cocktail of stuff like that. It was like Warp Pipe, Double Dash, and then we were playing a lot of Jedi Knight Academy online.
Oh yeah,
which
I
is
totally
where,
forgot that came out on the GameCube too, didn't it?
We played a lot of that stuff, man. It was a lot of fun.
Anyway, when it comes to Team Fortress 2, I know that was like 7 sets of stairs ago. It was interesting to even, I listened to the majority of the soundtrack the other night while I was doing other stuff. And again, that's probably why this specific song stuck out to me. But Parker, if you have any specific songs that like you would want us to play besides the main theme, you can go ahead and send those in. Or of course, if you want to send in any other voicemails, feel free. This is where we will shout out that you can send in voicemails to bitharmonypod@gmail.com. Or if you're living in the US, it's probably easier. Just send us a voicemail by calling. The number is 216-230-8540. Once again, that number to leave a voicemail at is 216-230-8540. And as a reminder, as Presto mentioned, try and keep those below 3 minutes because you get cut off otherwise.
Yeah. But send them in. Bring them on, man.
Yeah.
I love voicemails.
I love responding to voicemails. I think I said this before, but if this show just morphed into nothing but voicemails, I would be totally down with that. Again, don't know if other people would be happy about that, but I would be happy with that. But anyway, we're kind of at the bulk of the episode, and I think you're about to see why I was saying it doesn't really matter how long we're taking on voicemails, because we're kind of just gonna like play songs. It's kind of gonna be like our first episode again. We're just gonna play songs, talk about them, and play more songs. So I guess we should just each pick one of our songs. You want to pick one of yours first, and then we're gonna pair them together.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna go with, you know what? I'm gonna go right out the gate with the KK Cruisin remix.
Okay. Since that has such a weird energy to it, maybe I'll go with my OC remix of Mega Man 3 Magnet Missiles.
Let's go.
Yeah, these are probably the two like weirdest energy songs that we've picked and brought with us today. So just open it up with that. So again, that is going to be KK Cruisin' from Animal Crossing. I guess that KK Cruisin's in like all the Animal Crossing games.
I think so. Yeah, that's the Qumu remix of it.
The Qumu remix of it. And then we've also got the Magnet Missiles, which is Mega Man, a remix of Mega Man 3 from ocremix.org. And that is by JJT, Ptitteri, and zykO. I have no idea how to pronounce the second name. But anyway, we're going to play those for you and be right back.
Love me, oh, me now.
Once again, that was a KK Cruisin remix from Animal Crossing by Qumu, and Magnet Missiles, which is an OC remix of Mega Man 3 by, once again, JJT, ptitteri, and zykO. So I guess since we started with KK Cruisin, do you want to give us some of your brief thoughts, or not so brief thoughts, on that song?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief. I mean, first of all, I don't know about you. For me, KK Cruisin' is already like in the conversation, absolutely, for best KK song.
Yeah. The first note I had is like, this is the KK song. Like, it's not even.
Yeah.
I love a lot of KK songs, but like, this is the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just so. It's so funky. The bass is so killer. And I think the biggest thing that I want to highlight with this remix is I will tame my language for the podcast, but I have no idea how they made these vocals work like this.
Yeah, I know.
I have written in all caps on my notes, I can't believe they've done this. They really said, let's take KK Slider and make it Bayonetta. Like,
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know we have a YouTube comment about it, so I won't harp too much on it, but like the idea of like a real human voice doing the KK like it shouldn't work. And if it does work, it should just be silly, but it actually is good. Like it is unironically, not facetiously, it is good, and it's kind of crazy.
It's completely like straight-faced and earnest. It makes perfect sense. You could play this at like a bar and nobody would bat an eye, just like a smoky, like jazzy bar, and nobody would bat an eyelash. I love there's a couple little moments, especially going into the end of the song, because I think another thing that I love so much about this remix is how it's constantly kind of changing the like shape of it. I love the little delay and like the claps that go into the final chorus. I think it's so effective. And then like they also do a key change, which if y'all know me, like a key change is another one of those things that just gets me so pumped every time. So that very final chorus does a key change going into it, and it just it really gets me going. I love this remix. It's one of my favorite remixes of all time.
Yeah, I had never heard of Qumu or heard their music until in the All In Discord like last year or something. I think you linked, it was maybe this song. I don't remember which one it was you linked first.
Yeah.
And yeah, I explored some of their remixes back then. I want to specifically shout out their Yoshi's Island Cavern or Cave remix. It sounds like a 70s cop procedural, but like the Yoshi's Island Cave theme. Just in general, their bass in like all of their remixes is absolutely insane. It specifically calls to mind like the bass and like the original Luigi's Mansion game. Like specifically the end credits of Luigi's Mansion 1. It is just so funky. It's like almost sickening. It's I don't know. Qumu went from being someone I never had heard of or ever heard their remixes before to like within one or two songs I'm like, this person seems to consistently be putting out some of like the coolest, both, when I say coolest, I actually mean cool, both high quality remixes, but also just cool remixes on YouTube. Like they are way up there for me.
Yeah, they're really interesting too, because like Qumu as like an entity, like if you go to their website for like, they have like a Q&A and stuff, and they're very cool about people like using their music as long as you give proper credit. And they also like one of the FAQs, like how do you pronounce it? And they're like, I don't care, like pronounce it however you want. And also like people ask like, you know, like what their gender is or whatever, and they're like, we don't have a gender. And in fact, the Qumu avatar, like there is a male presenting and a female presenting version of it. Like they're just this sort of like amorphous eldritch entity that produces video game remix, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that's a great personality to have. Again, now it's we went from a weirdly Sonic episode to a weirdly Mario Kart episode to now a weirdly Reply All episode. But they did a story on this like internet persona called Zardulu, and Zardulu was like this person that was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like they were creating fake viral moments with rats in New York City. Do you remember like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, something called Pizza Rat?
Oh yeah.
Like it was literally just like a rat like eating a whole
like
slice
taking
of
away
pizza.
A pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was faked by Zardulu. Like Zardulu has a team of trained rats that they use.
What?
Yeah. It's dude, it is insane. And Zardulu, when Alex Goldman, the host of Reply All, or one of the hosts of Reply All, he got to talk to them a little bit. And what Zardulu was implying is that you have no idea how much of this world we live in is faked, and I want to like keep that a mystery. However, like,
Okay,
you really need to like keep in mind like so many things. I mean, it's funny nowadays because like half the videos that are fed to you on like TikTok and Facebook and whatever, they're so obviously staged. Like it's like they're not even attempting to hide it, and yet people still think it's real, you know?
right.
Whereas from Zardulu's perspective, it's like, I want to create these moments that genuinely like feel real and go viral, but they are not. And they're all based around rats.
Okay, two things. First of all, I have downloaded this episode as you're saying this. This is immediately at the top of my queue. Also, like, yeah, it's interesting because you know, my wife is she's always on TikTok, and like she's always sending me stuff, and she's like, well, that's and I'm just like, it's so obviously fake,
right?
She's like, well, how can you be so sure? And I'm like, like I'm not plugged into this.
The camera angles are usually the biggest tell more than anything.
I'm like, this is obviously fake. But then also, like, as somebody who, like, one of my kind of consistent voiceover gigs is a fake thing. Like, I, you know, like I do narration for somebody's YouTube channel that they kind of present as being like a fully original and not authored or manufactured thing. But really it's like, I'm the person who narrates it. Somebody else is paid to write the scripts for it. Somebody else is paid to edit it. Like, it's a very manufactured, like, business, but it's being presented as like somebody like just some guy out there grinding away on these videos. It's not at all what it is.
Right, it's a whole team of people producing something. But like, and it's funny, like, again, we won't talk about it for your privacy's sake, but like, yeah, you've shown me these videos, and yeah, my immediate thought was like, oh, this is weird that like these are being presented with your voice, but you're not the one making them. Like that, but like, it's also not clear that you are not the one making them. I mean, it's not clear that you are just a narrator. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about something like that. Like, there's just like a shadow team of people producing viral rat moments out there.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because like I'll look at the comments of those videos and it's just, bro, keep grinding on your content. Like, I really hope that like this takes off for you and stuff. And I'm like, you have no idea that I'm just like a guy getting paid to do this stuff. I mean, yeah, you like, if nothing else, if you know, if Zardulu or whatever, like, it gives you nothing else, just be aware that like you should never take anything in the modern age at face value, dude. Anything could be AI or a team of people or trained rats or whatever, man.
But not Bit Harmony. We are not a team run by rats over here, just so you know.
That'd be a wild reveal, wouldn't it? Like, we're just like, this has all just been AI generated.
I just opened my coat and then a bunch of rats spill out, and I was just made of rats the whole time. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Qumu.
Oh yeah, the persona. That's right. Yeah.
I think I don't have anything else to say about
we've spent enough time. We lost the plot of that remix a long time ago.
It was a great remix. Again, I love KK Cruisin. I will real quickly shout out, just in terms of other KK songs, KK D&B, also from the original Animal Crossing, was like those were my two go-tos, was Cruisin and D&B. I'll also shout out KK Chillwave from the New Horizons, like the update. I just love Chillwave in general. I know that's like one of those like genres of music that like lived and died within the span of like 6 months, basically. But they really captured the feel of like a washed out song, and by that I mean a song by the artist Washed Out, not a washed out song, to be clear.
Right. Shout out to Stale Cupcakes. Stale Cupcakes is probably my favorite.
Stale Cupcakes is very, very good. Magnet Missiles. So we're talking about Horn Boys on this episode. A lot of Horn Boys. The first introduction of Ska Boys. I don't think we've had any ska on this song or on this podcast so far. Okay, look, I will fully admit especially hearing this song in 2024, it's not anywhere approaching like the best OC remix ever. It is very stuffed. It's very stuffed with stuff that maybe it shouldn't be stuffed full of. It changes genres like 3 times and not always for the better. I still love this song. When I think of OC remixes, again, not quality wise, but like for everything that OC remix kind of represents, which is just kind of like, to me, is like a bunch of people that like want to make music, and like technology reached a point in the early and mid 2000s where they could basically do whatever they want by themselves if they knew how. Like, this is that, right? Like, this is just like,
Right.
oh, I can make a ska Magnet Man remix, but also if I collaborate with these other people, it can also turn into a prog rock Magnet Man remix midway through for no reason. And that's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, so my first like thought when I started, this is my first, I'd never heard this OC remix before. And when I first started listening, I was like, all right, cool. This is like a super old, like a 14-year-old, like very high-end heavy electric guitar arrangement. And then like my first note is ... but then it became ska. Shout outs to the little solo that's around a minute in that is really good.
Dude, that trumpet like slides into place. It's so good.
Yeah, slides into place is actually just in general how I would describe this, because like my note here is song is so all over the place, it damn near feels improvised and then really comes together around 121. Let the song cook. Is what I have here.
Yeah, like I said, I the only other note about the actual song that I had was like that I love that, again, that turns prog rocky for no reason around 2 minutes in. If I remember correctly, about like the 3 people that made this remix, I think one specialized in like doing trumpet stuff, which is where the ska aspect comes from. I'm assuming that's JJT. But then I think zykO was the one who was like the collaborator that was like more so into like the prog rock stuff. It's so funny because like, yeah, this feels just squished together in a lot of ways, but yeah, it does kind of come together and click by the end in a weird way. But yeah, again, this was kind of just an excuse for me to force other people to listen to a 20-year-old, almost 20-year-old ska remix of Magnet Man. That's really all this was.
It's okay. It's fine by me. I really like anything that kind of that I can like detect the human fingerprints on. You know, like anything that's a little like less clean, a little more grungy, a little bit more like, you know, these people. It feels like it was made in a garage. You know, like I'm good with that for a long time.
Yeah, it's fun. it's fun in a way that like more clean stuff just is. It doesn't mean I don't like the clean produced stuff too, but this feels very handmade, as you say. Do we want to do our next batch of songs then?
Okay. I'm trying to. I have so many different like flavors here,
Sure.
and you do too. You know what? Let's go for we talked about PPF, I think, on the last episode, and I do have a PPF cover as one of my picks, and it's from Rainbow Castle from Mario Party 1.
Okay, and then I guess I'll go with this this Ergosonic song, this Essence of the Woodlands from Donkey Kong Country 2. So again, that is going to be the Rainbow Castle remix from Mario Party by PPF, or Poop Poop Fart. I'm sure my wife is snickering on the couch over there right now. And then Essence of the Woodlands, which is a remix of Forest Interlude from Donkey Kong Country 2 by Ergosonic, and we will be right back. once again, that was Rainbow Castle by PPF. I'm not going to say the whole thing again. And Essence of the Woodlands by Ergosonic. I guess we'll talk about Rainbow Castle first. I don't think I ever heard this one, even though I've subscribed to him for a long time. I don't think I ever heard this one.
Interesting. This is one of my favorite covers that he's ever done. This is actually, we were talking about this last week that kind of inspired like us doing this episode at all, but this is another example where I prefer the cover over the original. I love that kind of like the almost all of the instrumentation with strings in this is all like acoustic, and acoustic bass just gives it such a chunky quality. Like I love anytime an acoustic bass is played and you can kind of just hear the reverberation of the strings and stuff. Like I just love that. He also uses both melodica and marimba in the song that really kind of, it gives it like a cozier, like a sleepier kind of vibe that I really dig. And then it's also really smart because, you know, this is a very like loopable N64 song from, you know, the first Mario Party game. This is a Yasunori Mitsuda song, and it has to be kind of like short and loopable. And so he finds really smart ways to kind of add variety to the song. And one of my favorites is the final verse passage around the 2-minute mark. Is just a kind of like isolated, clean, like acoustic lead that I think works really, really well, and just very like tastefully done. It just retains the spirit of the song, but also feels totally different. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I think I said this on the last episode, but yeah, PPF is like probably like my favorite YouTube like video game music cover artist, I guess, however you want to phrase it. I'm trying to think of someone I'd put it on his level. I also just really love that his framed poster of The Room has gotten like bigger over the years. Like he's gotten like a bigger version of it. Yeah, I don't have too many notes here beyond like I love a lot of his songs have like xylophones in it. I think maybe my favorite of his, I'm trying to think, if it's not my favorite, it's like top 3 is the water land or water level area from Kirby's Epic Yarn remix of his. And yeah, it has a lot of good xylophone stuff in there too. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny how many callbacks there are to the first episode of Bit Harmony and in this episode, which is also, I think, our 10th episode. So it's like really...
Oh wow!
It's like we've done like a full circle or something now, but like, yeah, it's just funny that we're talking about Mario Party and the fact that it was composed by Yasunori Mitsuda again, because it's still weird to think about that for me.
Yeah, sure.
Like again, I think I said this on the first episode, but I always loved the Mario Party soundtrack, but I had no idea it was by the same person that made Chrono Trigger, despite the fact that it basically just sounds like a Chrono Trigger soundtrack in most ways.
Kind of does, yeah.
Are you excited about, maybe excited is too strong of a word, but like the Mario Party Jamboree? Because they're putting this level back in that game, right?
Yeah, I when they showed that, I was excited about that. I'm really curious how musically it's going to be represented. Because I'm assuming they're going to rearrange the song and remake the song. So I'm excited about that. For the game itself, I feel kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to play it, I think, because like my wife and I really like playing Mario Party together. And also it's coming out right around the time of Extra Life. So it's going to be fun to play that game at Extra Life and stuff. So, you know, there's that. But, yeah, so I mean, like, I'm looking forward to the game, but I feel out of all the first party stuff, like even compared to something like Emio later this month, like I'm probably more excited for literally everything else on Nintendo's first party slate right now than that. But still, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to be fascinated by the music in particular of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the last Mario Party, there's too many Mario Parties with similar names. That Super Mario Party, Mario Party All Stars,
Superstars, yeah.
Superstars. That game was like made up fully of old levels and mini games and music, right? Like that was like the whole gimmick with it. I really liked that one a lot, but I literally only got to play it with other people like twice, maybe even just once. So that's kind of why I'm not going to buy Jamboree.
Sure.
I've learned my lesson at this point, but I was just curious, like, if the idea of like this song being rearranged in an official capacity is like exciting to you, because I'm genuinely like really excited to hear the soundtrack for that game, just because of this, because like this, the Rainbow Castle theme is like a top 10 video game song for me ever, probably. So yeah, an official remix of it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm here for it. We'll see. It's coming out, I think, in October, and it's also like my wife and I are moving in October, so it's going to be a pretty chaotic. It's going to be like a really burst of chaotic energy for me. Like we're going to the Porter Robinson concert, then we're moving, and then like a couple weeks later, I'm going to Extra Life in New York. It's going to be a crazy like month for me, but
it's going to be like a month-long Mario Party.
A little bit. It's going to be a real jamboree for my life and stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any other notes you wanted to add about Rainbow Castle? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I didn't have too many either. I just, like I said, PPF is like, his stuff is so just clean and well produced.
Excellent.
And if there were like one person I'd highly recommend more than anyone else you subscribe to on YouTube, if you like video game music, which I have to assume you do if you're listening to this, it would probably be PPF. Just please go subscribe to him.
Did you see when he announced that he was doing a Patreon? I actually don't know if his Patreon is still active or what the status of that is, but his Patreon was he made it like a crap toot.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Which I also found really good. So shout outs to that.
Yeah. Shout outs to just unnecessary poop jokes in the middle
poop and fart jokes.
Yeah, for absolutely no reason. Again, someone who has like a hanged poster of The Room on the wall behind them as they perform beautiful video game music. I would expect nothing less. Have you ever seen The Room?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love The Room. Yeah, I love. Yeah, I probably give off Lover of the Room vibes.
You do? It's just that you were oddly quiet when I mentioned The Room. So
I think we had another
sure.
lag spike. That's what it was. So it caught up, and I heard The Room love, and yes, co-signed. The Room is very good.
Yeah, extremely good. Okay, so for Essence of the Woodlands by Ergosonic. This was the one I had because, again, I specifically didn't want to spend hours of my life researching minutia of like these of all these songs this time. This is the one I had to resist researching the most. This has been in my video game music playlist for like 14 years or something. It's very, very like within the first 20 songs I ever added to my YouTube playlist. And I was like, I never thought about where this came from or who Ergosonic is. And that will have to be something we save for another day. I did like a very, very cursory look into it. This came from a website called Dwelling of the Duels.
Okay.
I don't really know what it is. The website is still up. You can still download, from what I can tell, like all the songs that they ever like hosted there. I'm guessing it's some kind of like remix, like competition website. Like they would just give you different themes or whatever to remix. But again, I only gave it like a cursory glance. There was too much going on the past week to really spend a lot of time on this. I'll make a quick note that this is actually the second rearrangement of Forest Interludes that we've featured on this podcast. The first one being Forest Birdcussion in the early 2000s episode, which is still, that is like my de facto, like I like this more than the original thing. I also really love this one because I picked it too. Not quite on the Birdcussion level, but it's so cool that like they have completely different vibes. Like you could not be on a different like wavelength of mood when you're listening to Forest Birdcussion versus Essence of the Woodlands, you know?
Yeah, I'm on the dwellingofduels.net website right now, and it's a very good time capsule. I love that they haven't presumably really changed this website much since it was created, I guess, in 2003. And it seems like this is a sort of video game music remix competition that happens every month. And like, for example, August is Mystery Month. Any kind of game which resolves around a mystery or investigation is fair game. So like people can do Ghost Trick remixes and Ace Attorney and Danganronpa and Layton and very cool. Like I kind of want to just follow this and like
Yeah.
check out some of the stuff that happened. So yeah, shout outs to Dwelling of Duels. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes for this one other than it's really funny because I can see why you chose to pair this with the Rainbow Castle cover from PPF, because similarly, like, it's a very kind of acoustic heavy, you know, the acoustic lead of this is so clean. Like, it's just, despite the fact this is a very like old remix, it's very like the production kind of still holds up.
Yeah.
Like the lead of it is extraordinarily clean. There are these really cool little like bass fills in the back that are very like resonant and like peaceful that I really like. Yeah, I don't know. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that I have multiple Ergosonic songs in my video game music playlist. I think I have a Chrono Trigger one in there. There's a Kirby Adventure or Kirby's Adventure one that's really, really good. Maybe I'll put one of those behind us at some point. But yeah, I don't have a ton of notes either beyond like, yeah, I love like Spanish sounding guitars. I love how echoey this whole remix was. Just like the guitar kind of going freestyle around like 303 was really good. I think in the comments, a lot of people were asking for like tabs so they could play it, and he was saying, sorry, I don't have them because I just like did this one night. Like I just put this together on my own one night. Yeah, and yeah, you can tell despite like how high the production quality is, like you said, like you can tell like a person made this. It's funny that we keep coming back to that theme this episode too, even as far back as the Liger Woods comment. Yeah, I don't know. This just it gave me the vibes of like a wandering musician in like the desert or something. It's kind of the vibes I got from this song. But yeah, I was kind of happy to rediscover this one because I hadn't thought about it in a while. I guess then let's go on and pick the next two. I guess I'll pick mine first this time.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess let's go with this Home from Fez, a piano version. So the title of the song is Home from the game Fez, and it's a piano arrangement.
I'm really tempted to, you know what? I'll go for Everlasting Love, which is a cover from a We Love Katamari song by Michelle Heafy. I was very tempted to go for my other one though, and just go completely in the opposite direction. But we'll go with the pairing.
Okay, sounds good to me. So again, that is Home from Fez. That's a piano version. I have the artist in my other notes. I'll get that after the break. And then we've got Everlasting Love from We Love Katamari by Michelle Heafy, and we'll be right back.
しさ感じ取りにといつまでも続いてゆくこの道は永遠の愛抱きしめて壊れるほどに止めないで満ち足りた日々I love you 息が止まるくらい So I miss you 強く抱きしめていつまでもIt's my love 時が止まるくらい So it's your love このままでいて永遠に白い鳥泳ぐ空青く風に鳴く木立の音遠かりし山々のように揺らぐことのない想い丘の上大上見上げて強さ感じ木々に問うどこまでも続いてゆくこの道は永遠の愛まどろんで溶け出すほどに確かめて優しい歌I love you 息が止まるくらい So I miss you けたく抱きしめていつまでもIt's my will 優しい時に So it's your will ただ身を任せ投げてゆくI can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love I can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love I can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love I can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love I love you 息が止まるくらい So I miss you 強く抱きしめていつまでもIt's my love 時が止まるくらい So it's your love このままでいて永遠にI love you 息が止まるくらい So I miss you けたく抱きしめていつまでもIt's my will 優しい時に So it's your will ただ身を任せ投げてゆくI can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love I can sing a song for you and me I can make a song for all who feel love
And that was Home from Fez, arranged for piano by Brent Kennedy. And then Everlasting Love from We Love Katamari, composed by Michelle Heafy. I think with this version of Home, so Fez was originally composed by Disaster Piece, who has composed a few video games as far as I'm aware, and then also they've also done a few film scores.
Yeah.
If you've never seen, I know you have seen this, Seth, right? I think you have. It Follows.
Yeah, I love It Follows.
Yeah, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I almost don't even classify it as horror. It's more like depression made manifest into a vaguely horror adjacent thing, which I guess is kind of a lot of those types of movies. But that was also by Disaster Piece. And then this piano arrangement, I think, again, I didn't want to go too far down the well and lose my entire night to researching stuff.
Sure.
But I believe there was a piano arranged album of Fez, and I think this was put onto that. So I guess this is adjacent to an official release of some sort. But I don't have many notes here beyond I really do not like the video game Fez. I actually outright dislike it. But I love the soundtrack, and I think Disaster Piece is super talented, and I really like this piano arrangement.
Yeah, I knew that you had that opinion of Fez, the video game. I remember being I haven't replayed Fez in a long time. I played a little bit of the Switch version when it came out, which probably speaks to like the I didn't feel I didn't feel obligated or drawn to do like a full replay, so maybe that speaks volumes. But one thing that I do think is pretty inarguable about Fez is like the vibes, the way it looks, the way it sounds, I think are pretty inarguably immaculate. And I don't really have any notes either. It's just a really good piano. Like what are you gonna say? Like I liked the part with the piano. Like it's just a really good piano arrangement. It's like I said. My friend Colin has every time Fez gets brought up, he loves making fun of me, saying that I'm wrong for not liking Fez. This isn't the time or place for it. Sure. I never got down with like the game. It feels so slow to move around, but like that's all the game is like moving around. So like navigating the world is a chore, and like even navigating the individual screens was a chore for me. Felt like a lot of like you're getting to the right spot and then you're rotating the world around, and that's kind of it. I understand why people like it, and I realize I'm being slightly reductive or whatever. It never really gelled with me, but I get it in terms of like a secret hunting game. There's not like a whole lot better. It's just that we talked about this before. I'm generally more of like a gameplay first person as opposed to like a story or whatever first person. I know you tend to skew more towards like story and world building stuff. So yeah. Well, but I'll also say too though is that like Fez when it came out was so different, and so that came out in what 2009 or something like that.
Around there,
yeah, and like it felt so different and so unique, and like the whole secret finding aspect of it was so unique. Whereas now, and I haven't played it yet, I intend to before the end of the year, but now you have something like Animal Well, which sounds like it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like Animal Well has good and satisfying gameplay in addition to still being, this very like, secret hunting, the kind of thing that people will probably still be finding stuff in 10 years, also by a solo developer. Like it seems like that's probably, another good corollary to something like that doesn't feel like it has to sacrifice like good and satisfying gameplay. So.
Right. Yeah. And again, if y'all like Fez, that's fine. I don't want, I want more voicemails, but I don't want voicemails about Fez.
Yeah, I can't believe Matt just like dunked on Fez this whole time.
If you want to send in voicemails about Fez's soundtrack, that's fine. But yeah, I don't want to hear.
I could even see us doing a Fez episode.
Yeah, I would gladly do that. That sounds great. Then I can have a whole episode of telling you how bad Fez is. Anyway, again, I'm mostly goofing. Let me have my goofs. It's been a hard time lately.
That's right.
When it comes to the Everlasting Love remix by Michelle Heafy, real quick, I'm sure you have a lot to say about it since it's one of your picks too, but like, it's so cool that she actually sang the Japanese lyrics. I feel like you never really run into that with like YouTube covers of stuff like this.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're planning on including this in the episode or not, but I like that she starts with like her dealing with like her tangled headphones, which to me like it's very just indicative of like the time. Like you remember when all we had were wired headphones like that, and like they would get tangled up like that all the time. Like it's so I don't know, just a really perfect like time capsule for me is just the way she chose to start that video. Yeah, there's just something about these like decade plus old lo-fi video game covers, man. And I love that she sings the song in Japanese as well. She still is active on her YouTube channel, and I think she still does video game covers in a band that she now has with, I think, her boyfriend. Just from what I was able to tell from looking at some of them, just her, like, you know, self harmonies are so clean. It's really hard to harmonize with your own vocals.
The self harmony around like 218, where it's like a buildup of like Oz. I was like, that got me.
Exact timestamp. Yes,
that got me real. Like besides like the last song I have. That was like the part that got me the most out of all these songs that we listened to.
Very clean. Those choral notes, that pre-chorus 218. Yeah, I have that exact same timestamp. It's so I have done this sort of thing before in the past. It's really hard to harmonize with your own vocals already, but like to match your own tonality as well, and like just make it sound clean, hitting different notes, hitting different octaves, and harmonizing, like, it's not easy, and she makes it seem really clean and effortless, even all that time ago, you know.
Yeah, it also, I guess because it's like so like acoustic guitar and piano oriented or whatever, but I said this to you, but it reminds me of like an elementary school teacher like having their class play this song, you know, like there's something very like not childish, but like just very like the what she's using for percussion, like it's just like that block or whatever. There's something very, it feels, again, we talk about this so many times this episode, but so homemade,
right, playful.
Playful is the perfect word for this. It was just a lot of fun. Also, We Love Katamari, one of the all-time great soundtracks. I was gonna say like, oh yeah, this is like a standout song on the soundtrack, but I can't say that because like they're all standout songs on the soundtrack. So like it's hard for me to make that call.
I'm really glad you mentioned the little like box that she had for the percussion, because I almost forgot to call out this note that I have, which is box she's tapping on has an out of the box type swag to it.
Okay.
that old Disney Channel show. Did you ever watch that, Out of the Box?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also say, as my last note for the song was, I didn't remember, I just played the remaster of We Love Katamari a year ago. I didn't remember just how punk rock the original version of the song sounds.
Yeah.
Until right after listening to this version, I loaded up the original. I'm like, oh wow, like these guitars are crunchy as hell.
They are. Yeah, they're super crunchy. So it's funny that like she made it like sweet. Like she made it like a very like sweet and like kind of lilting, pleasant, you know, kind of song. Not that it isn't already, but it's way more like forward. It's way more driving in the original. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really cool. Again, we could do like 5 episodes of these in a row and I would still have plenty of
absolutely
remixes and covers and stuff. And like, like you said, a lot of my favorite of these are like from like 2012, like someone putting these together back then. Yeah, very, very fun. But that said, if you don't have any other notes about it, do you want to move on to our next batch of songs?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
So I guess the last one before my final one that I have is this Gate theme. It's a lo-fi Gate theme remix by Strobe from Pokemon X and Y. I guess we'll talk about it. And then what was the last song you have here?
Mine is the Red Pandas remix of Anarchy Rainbow from Splatoon 3. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we're going to play the lo-fi Gate theme by Strobe from Pokemon X and Y, and then the Anarchy Rainbow remix from the Red Panda, and we'll be right back. once again, that was the Lo-Fi Gate theme by Strobe from Pokemon X and Y, and Anarchy Rainbow remix from the Red Panda. I want to give real quick shout out. I'll be honest, I don't think he listens to the podcast, because I feel like if he did, he would have mentioned something. But Phelan from the All End Discord, he is actually, well, for one, he's like the biggest Pokemon fan that I've ever met.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he is the one that linked this, I think, like over 2 years ago. And when I heard it, I was just like, okay, like, wow. Because I love a good lo-fi remix, especially of video game music. However, I feel like they are extremely hit or miss, and way more on the side of miss than hit. But like, this one was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm with you. Lo-fi remixes to me are usually pretty safe. I feel like a lot of lo-fi remixes are comfortable to just kind of like rest on the laurels of that weird genre, like just doing like kind of basic like isolating and muting and like just a little crackling. Like, it's pretty easy, I feel like, for a lot of people to make a pretty generic sounding lo-fi remix, not to try to sound reductive about somebody else's art or whatever, but
of course.
But I like that this one is way more like layered and complicated than a lot of lo-fi remixes are. I like that it has like straight up DJ scratch fills all over it. I love that it samples like in-game sound effects. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, I really, the like, I think there's like a Pokemon Center sound sample in there somewhere that was really good. I think it also helps too that I don't hear that many people talk about Pokemon X and Y, which for me is weird. So I'm like, these were the first 3DS Pokemon games, and
I love them. Yeah.
To me, they're one of the best games in the series. I mean, we could talk about Mega Ampharos all damn day, and I will. This is actually this is where we transition over to our final segment. The Mega Ampharos presents the best Mega Pokemon in Pokemon X, Y. Yeah, I just find X and Y are extremely underrated in general, but like, I never hear people talk about like the gate theme from Pokemon X and Y in terms of like the
crazy
musically. Yeah, so the fact that Strobe was like, oh yeah, I could do something with this. To me, that's so cool that he was like, yeah, this is what we're doing today, a lo-fi gate theme remix.
Very interesting, very musically interesting game. Yeah, that's another one. We could totally do a whole episode of this show on Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah. We could do a whole episode on like every mainline Pokemon entry, like easily. It's funny that like, I wonder if like people expected the show to be different in terms of like what we were doing with it. You know what I mean? Like, if they thought we would be doing more like the more obvious choices and way more focus on like individual games. It's like, yeah, we still do plenty of that, but yeah, like the fact that we're 10 episodes in and we haven't done a Zelda or a Pokemon or whatever. Yeah, I feel like people are maybe surprised by that, but I hope it's a good surprise.
I hope so too. I said to you only half jokingly that I would rather run into traffic than do an Ocarina of Time episode, as much as I love that soundtrack.
Ocarina of Time is fantastic as a game and as a soundtrack, but there's not really much to say about it. You know, I'm sure you can find whatever you want to hear. So yeah, I'm always looking to try and surprise people in some way, and I hope
totally
like with an episode like this, like there's so many covers and remixes and blah 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 that like I hope you find at least one song in this list of them that we've played for you today that you really love, that you never heard, you really loved it. Maybe it's even from a game you've never even played. That would make my heart swell, I guess. But yeah, when it comes to the gate theme, I think that's basically all the notes I had. You already covered like the DJ scratches and stuff, but yeah, that was kind of my last note.
Yeah, really, really good. Just a good kind of like non-traditional lo-fi remix. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just very high quality all around. Oh, I'll also say the YouTube profile picture for Strobe is James McCloud from Star Fox 64, which is just a Fox McCloud but with sunglasses on. I think that's really cool. James really McCloud rules. So Anarchy Rainbow, I'll be honest, besides like I've heard a couple of the Red Panda songs. Like I know you guys commissioned him for the All In theme.
Yeah.
and I listened when he was on y'all's show. I listened a bit. I liked what I heard. To me, this is the coolest of the Red Panda songs that I've heard.
It's very cool. Yeah, shout out to our boy one time, Jordan, the Red Panda. He's a great dude. He was the composer of Terui 2, specifically. And that's how we were made aware of him. Like, Eric had reached out to him for our 100th episode. We were using an old Groove Cube remix of the Super Mario 64 pause theme until that point. Which is the same one that the House of Mario podcast used, who we're also friends with. Shoutouts to Drew, who I think listens to the show. And we wanted to have like our own theme, and so Eric had reached out to Jordan to do that. And I really like the music that he made for All In. I really appreciate him for doing that. And he's just a great guy, really cool. So shouts to him. But this is also my favorite thing that he's ever done. It's so weird. Like, I really appreciate how out there he went with it. Like, it has like a bunch of different like club influences and trap influences, and like also like the pre-chorus of it kind of gives like a little bit of like, I don't know, like UK garage dubstep, sort of vibe. My favorite thing though about his music in general, and I would almost call it, and I told him this privately, especially when he released the Princess single off of his Digital Dream Volume 2 record, I think. For me, his super clean arpeggiators is what I think is his signature, and it's on full display here during the chorus. I think it's just a really like well-made, interesting, and weird and well-considered remix of an already really good song. So
yeah, it's really good. I loved there's like a breakdown at 50 seconds in, and then like the bubbly keyboard sounds are kind of bringing it back. Got me really, really good. Was that a sitar or like a digital sitar around like 2 minutes in? It sounded really sitarish, but I couldn't. It's hard for me when it's like digital sounds to narrow it down.
Probably. I know that he makes his music in Logic, and it's probably just one of the onboard Logic like digital instruments.
I always down for a sitar. Also, it kind of fits Shiver. Because if you don't know, if you didn't watch the YouTube video version of it, there's just like a big Shiver picture on screen from Splatoon
he drew.
3.
He also does his own art.
I didn't know that. That's cool. And like the picture of Shiver is like vibrating along with the song, and there's a bit where like when the song's getting like real nutty around like 120, and like the picture of Shiver is like really vibrating all over the place. It was pretty good.
He's also young. I think he's like 24 or something like that. Like he's like mid-20s. He's pretty young. He's man, and he's currently working on like the upcoming Terui game. He's coming back for the soundtrack to that Terui Saturn or whatever. So that should be really cool. I think that's coming later this year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing more of his stuff. And I also really like his little tag that he puts, the little OK Panda tag on his stuff as well, which is done by the I forget her name. I think it's maybe Sivion. Her real name is Jess, but I think her online handle is Sivion. She did the vocals. She's the voice of Terui, first of all, so the little noises that Terui makes is her. But she's also a very talented singer, and so the Sparkle Park I Wanna Love You song, which is by far like the standout track of Terui 2, she is the one, the quote-unquote voice of Terui is the woman singing on that track, which is really good. So, and anyway, the little OK Panda, like that's her too. So, yeah, really good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's funny that you're saying he's pretty young, because this, not to sound old, but I guess I probably will. This sounds like a really like young person song. Like this is a very energetic remix of an already like, Splatoon is definitely meant to appeal to a pretty young audience. To the degree that it reminded me of a Sonic the Hedgehog song. So again, I guess we got to have one more Sonic the Hedgehog drop here. There's even some like I think they're pretty quiet, but there was some sampled like haze in there.
Totally.
And that to me that was very, very like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. But yeah, really, really cool remix overall. Yeah, Red Panda was another one. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I didn't subscribe to them on YouTube already. So then I did. Yeah, like I said, a lot of new YouTube subscriptions, and I don't need any more, but I'd sub to them. I guess then we're getting into our final picks, right? We're going to not pair these ones together then.
Okay.
We're going to play them for you separately just because, like, I feel like we need to give them some space. Though it's funny because they are both remixes of or rearrangements of Final Fantasy X songs, which at this point, Final Fantasy X has to be the game that we've referenced by far the most that has not had its own episode yet.
I think so too, because we both love that game, and I feel like that's maybe a bit of a hot take, but like we both love that game. It's in my probably top 20 of all time.
Yeah, it besides like Dragon Quest 11 and like Chained Echoes, it might be like my favorite turn-based RPG of all time. Like I love Final Fantasy X. I love the soundtrack. I love the story. Love everything about it. I guess then we'll do mine first and we'll save yours for after.
Sounds good.
So we'll do, this is from the Symphonic Odysseys, a tribute to Nobuo Uematsu. I've seen various people, some people translate it as Someday the Dream Will End, others translate it as A Fleeting Dream. I usually go with Someday the Dream Will End. So this is, again, Someday the Dream Will End from the Symphonic Odysseys, a tribute to Nobuo Uematsu concert, I guess, and we'll be right back. Thank God I don't have many more hard song and name titles to reread after the breaks anymore. That was from the Symphonic Odysseys, a tribute to Nobuo Uematsu series, I guess. Someday the Dream Will End, or A Fleeting Dream, if you're nasty. I gotta say, this might be my favorite rearrangement of a video game song ever. I'd have to think about it, and I have thought about it. I don't have the definitive answer, but if it's not number one, it's in the top three. Again, before the break, we talked about it. I love Final Fantasy X. Seth also loves Final Fantasy X. It's pretty near the top of my favorite game soundtracks of all time. This song in particular, Someday the Dream Will End, is pretty near the top of my favorite songs from the album or the soundtrack. I think probably the only thing that maybe beats it is Besaid, which classic.
Yeah.
But this does hit me more emotionally just because of like where you hear it in the game. But then you get into this rearrangement of it. Okay, when I probably listened to this rearrangement like 7 times in the last week. Not all of it just for bit harmony, but because I don't know, like this puts me back in such a place, not even in necessarily a good place. It reminds me of being in 7th grade and terribly lonely and sad, but in a nostalgic way, if that makes sense.
Sure.
There is so much like emotion. I don't know if I've ever heard like this much emotion in like a symphonic version of a song, and maybe that's just me reading into it and putting my own emotions into it. That's probably at least partially what it is, but there's something about the swelling strings that happen multiple times throughout the song, but specifically around like 125 when the strings are paired with like the deep male vocals that even sound a lot like the Hymn of the Faith. Like I get downright shivers every time I listen to the song. And then at around 4:30, 4:34, I think I wrote down specifically when like it all comes together, and then the last like minute is just like this giant crescendo. I cry every single time. I for the past like 13 years, ever since I first heard this, I cry every single time I listen to this song. I guess I don't have that many notes. I just hope that people enjoyed a 5.5 symphonic song in the middle of this goofy podcast. But I really, really love this rearrangement.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is like for me the fastest like 6-minute song of all time.
Sure.
I am not typically the type to go for like choral heavy or choir heavy symphonic arrangement. It's not normally my vibe.
Me either. Yeah.
Like I like that stuff as much as the next guy, but it's not normally the kind of thing that I like go out of my way to appreciate. However, the second this choir begins, like it's full body goosebumps for me. Like it just this arrangement, you know, I think you nailed it, and I don't have a lot to add other than like it just really defines the gravitas and the melancholy and like the stakes of the game and the story and like the placement of that song. I love when the two vocal leads begin to sort of sing in tandem. And yeah, man, I don't know. It's really, really excellent and well considered and just completely like, I think actually, I think somewhat at least supersedes like what its placement in the game is of like, wow, like this really drives home, you know, kind of what this all means.
Right. Because like this play, if I remember correctly, it's been like 10 years since I played Final Fantasy X, but this plays like as you're approaching Xanarkand, right? Like they don't even do the battle themes anymore. Like this, I love in RPGs when they do that. It's like, nope, we're not playing the battle theme anymore. We're just playing you this song the entire way through. And it's just like a long, straightforward route through this like destroyed, but still like kind of beautiful city. And yeah, like I said, you're still getting into battles, but you're just hearing this the whole time. And it's like this pivotal moment of like the character's kind of like final determination and like trying to figure out like, what are we going to do? I guess slight spoilers for a 20-something-year-old game, but like like we're determined we're not going to sacrifice Yuna anymore for the final Aeon, but what does that mean? And we don't know.
Yes.
But like this, we're heading towards it, even though we don't know. Like, you know, God, the people that complain about Tidus being whiny are like the biggest losers on the planet.
I completely agree.
Because, like, for one, yeah, he does start off like a little, I don't want to say whiny, but yeah, but that's called character development. Because, like, by the end, and not even the end, but like, at this point in the game, he is like fully stoic. He's like, no, like, we don't trade lives here. Like, we're going to figure this out. And like, to me, this song is like his determination, even though the fact that they are going to end up trading lives because he's a dream or whatever, he's the reference to a fleeting dream. Yeah, like that it is beautiful. Yeah, that part of the game, like, I still think about just that approach to Xanarkand and the song playing the whole time. It's one of my favorite moments in any video game ever. One of my favorite songs in any video game ever. And again, this might be my favorite rearrangement of any video game song ever.
It's really good, and I think that, yeah, I mean, like, if there are a lot of themes in Final Fantasy X, but for me, maybe the biggest one is like breaking cycles, like you know, like breaking the cycle, breaking the chain, and like it's really funny because like people I think just latch on to, it's a classic, especially with older games like this. A classic scenario where people, like, I'll talk about how much I love this game, and they're like, oh, really? This, and they'll show like the clip of Tidus laughing totally out of context.
Dude, that scene totally works in the context of the game. It's like,
it's a beautiful scene.
Do you have like, no media literacy? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And I'm not trying to turn this into like a low key Final Fantasy X retrospective, but like,
I am.
That's a beautiful scene and a heartbreaking scene, actually. And people just, again, like, the vast majority of these people have never played the game at this point, you know, and I think that it's kind of very unfortunately become the narrative. I think that there are still like no shortage of Final Fantasy X fans online, but there's even more, like, especially vocal people who hate on it for just the stupidest reasons.
Right. The most superficial things you could ever possibly come up with. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great game. And, I'm glad that we've spent some time with it on this episode, especially since, yeah, as you mentioned, this last one that I chose is also a Final Fantasy X arrangement.
Do we want to introduce it then?
Sure, yeah. So this is a you actually shared this with me, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, this is from, I think it's meant to be Harp's Eye Board on YouTube. This is a harp arrangement of Besaid from Final Fantasy X, which, as you mentioned, is not only my favorite song off of this game, it would probably be in my top 5 favorite video game songs ever. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's take a listen, and we will be right back. And once again, that was Besaid from Final Fantasy X, arranged on harp. I think it's actually supposed to be like harpsichord, so it's harpsiboard. I think that's
that makes sense. Okay.
I think that's what the pun is. That actually, I just realized that when you read the name, I'm like, oh, that's what
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that makes I read it as like harps board or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Seth said, this just came up on my feed. Yeah, like a few weeks ago. I never considered myself much of a harp guy. I assume you haven't either.
No. Yeah.
And I assume it just came up just because like I am frequently listening to either Besaid or some kind of Besaid rearrangement of some sort. And honestly, I think the only other time I've listened to harp before, like in my life, is a friend from high school on Facebook. She'll sometimes post videos of herself playing harp. I'm like, well, this is really cool. And also this seems like maybe the hardest instrument to play. This seems like insane.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not well versed in harps. I just thought this was beautiful. I genuinely was like, when this came up, I was excited to send it to the group chat. I'm just like, yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, the boys are sharing harp videos, but yeah, that's exactly what was going on.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, this hit me like a freight train, and still does every time I listen to it. Like, this arrangement, it like reduces me to a puddle. Like my first note here is, if heaven exists, this is its soundtrack. Like, this is what plays when you go to heaven. It's just so peaceful and warm. Like, all of my mistakes are being forgiven.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like. It has been a really kind of like warm salve for me this week. I've listened to this arrangement many times this week. It's been a rough week. I really want to point something out with this arrangement in particular, and that's the reverb. And I know that's really weird and like maybe esoteric, but like, this has a really tasteful reverb. It gives it this like ethereal resonance, but isn't like annoying, which I think with harp is probably like an impossible balance to strike. It's so easy for reverb on harp arrangements to sound like it's being played in like a cathedral or something like that. Like,
right.
Just too wide, too echoey. This reverb, I think, is perfectly done. And I just find myself appreciating and reappreciating that every time I listen to it. It feels big and like it feels resonant and warm, but it also feels intimate. I don't really know how she pulled it off, but it's really great. It's really special. And another reason why I wanted to bring it up on this episode in particular, and this is a story that I shared with you when you first shared the songs, it made me think about it. But one of the things I like about doing this show and doing podcasts in general is kind of just creating these totems and these little, memories that can kind of live on. I wanted to share a little quick story that's related to harp in particular that this arrangement makes me think about. My stepsister Molly plays harp, and her and I have never had like a super close relationship. She's my biological father and my mother got divorced. He got remarried, and Molly is my stepmom's daughter from her first marriage. So like we have literally no blood relation at all. And like we grew up around each other and stuff like that, but we've never been like extraordinarily close. But when my grandfather passed away in 2009, that was a very like huge moment in my life. He was and is like my hero, the person I've looked up to the most in my life, the person I try to emulate with my life and stuff the most, the person I've learned the most from in my life. So when he passed away, it was really, really impactful for me, and I was a mess at his funeral. And because I play guitar, I've played guitar most of my life. There was a lot of pressure from my family to like go up and play guitar at like his funeral. I really didn't want to, and I was like, no, like I'm like blubbering over here, you know.
Right.
People are like, yeah, you should go up there and play guitar. Your papa would love that, and I'm like, oh my god, you know. And so Molly was up there playing harp, and I think Molly was also able to kind of like again, because she wasn't like blood related or anything, I think she was able to like be a little bit more composed and be there to play music for the funeral. And I just I remember, you know, getting up there and grabbing the church's acoustic guitar and like sitting next to her, and she just kind of like, I remember she put her hand on my shoulder and she was just kind of like, hey, you know, it's fine. Just like palm mute like some chords. Like you don't really have to do any, like, I got it. Like, don't worry about it. You know, just kind of put on appearances so they'll leave you alone, but like, it's okay. And, yeah, I just like, I'll never forget that. Like, I just remember how warm she was in that moment and how like protective she was. I'm the oldest of 9. And I'd never, when you're the older brother of everyone, it's very rare that you feel protected by your younger siblings, and in that moment I did. And for somebody who otherwise we never really had a very close relationship, it was a very powerful moment. And anytime I hear harp anything, I think of my stepsister Molly, and I think of that moment. So yeah.
I mean, for one, I find that very sweet, and I find that a very good story. I find that a very nice story to share on a podcast like this. I know some people are like, they just want like the meat and potatoes. Like, nah, give me the stuffing. I want to hear about this kind of stuff. Also, yeah, it's frustrating for me from the perspective of like that someone your age has to be the one that's being understanding as opposed to the older family members, you know,
right.
Like that happens often in my family also, like not that specific, obviously, but like it's hard to like, it's one of those things of like, oh yeah, parents really don't understand their kids sometimes kind of thing on like an existential level of like, hey, like, do you not see that like I'm hurting right now? Like, hey, it doesn't really matter if he'd like this guitar to be played right now because he's not here. Like it doesn't,
right.
It doesn't matter. Like why can't it be about me and the fact that like I can't right now, or I really don't feel like I can right now. Like it's, again, it is beautiful. And then, yeah, it's also frustrating to me from that perspective of she shouldn't have had to be the one, like the grown up in that situation. But it's sweet that she did step up to help you out any way she could. I think that's a very sweet story.
Yeah. Shout outs to Molly. And this arrangement makes me think of her. And again, Petite is just such a good song, just a very important song. Yeah.
I'll also say I again didn't have time to like go through Harpsiboard's like entire YouTube history or YouTube video uploads, but I did listen. I saw she had uploaded Crossing Those Hills from Final Fantasy IX.
Oh my god,
which is also
imagine
that. Yeah, that's also my favorite Final Fantasy IX song
by far.
Yeah, I think I like that one even more than this because like it fits the harp like perfectly. She was a very when I heard that Petite arrangement, I that was an instant subscribe, and now I'm just actively looking forward to hearing more of her stuff. And once this podcast is done and I have a little bit more free time, I'm definitely going to check out more of her stuff. Like Final Fantasy music on harps seems pretty good to me. With that said, we are now through the bulk of the episode. This is the fabled shorter-ish episode, even though it's still over 2 hours long. But yeah, do you want to move then into the YouTube comment oversharing corner?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. This is a good batch of YouTube comments. For those that don't know, this is the section of the show where we read off any funny or memorable or interesting or insane comments we've stumbled across while grabbing songs for this episode. I feel like we've had a lack of like insanity in the YouTube comments, but I got one that I think is pretty good. Like, not since Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door have I laughed aloud at a dumb YouTube comment. So
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll just start with this one, which I also thought was pretty funny and written very good. This is for magnet missiles. It was commented on by YouTube user Sorak185, which for some reason Sorak is a really funny name to me. But
I read it as Sora K. But I don't know. Maybe. Yeah,
that probably makes more sense. But I'm reading it like Zorak, kind of like from
a Mortal
Space
Kombat
Ghost
character.
Oh yeah, that works too. This is from Sorak185 on magnet missiles 6 years ago. I honestly have to wonder what this artist was thinking. Variety is nice, but this is a full speed 180 that completely kills the vibe laid down by the opening. And then 2 years later, got a response from YouTube user Mighty Kid 9581 saying, "That's what ska is, my dude." This is incredible.
Very good response. And yeah, that is what ska is, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, ska is bad, right? Like I love ska,
That's
but
the
like,
point.
but
That's
like,
the point.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad. It's bad. But hey, when it's attached to Mega Man, that just makes it even more good bad to me. Do you have? Well, I know you have some. Do you want to read off one of yours?
Yeah, so this one's from YouTube user PoCollector64, who commented on the KK Cruisin Qumu remix 1 year ago. Objectively, the idea of someone singing KK Slider's little me momos in earnest sounds ridiculous, and yet somehow you've convinced me it makes sense. To which YouTube user StickyBug responded just 2 weeks ago, "Now I want to do this for karaoke night." And yeah, like we touched on it when we talked about the remix, but just that, like the fact that they managed to make that work is insane.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of doing it at karaoke.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. That reminds, did we talk about this on this podcast? Like when Katy Perry did a song for The Sims and she did it in like
the Simlish thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's what it reminds me of. Yeah, that's a great bit. That's a great dedication to the bit. And yeah, like I said when we talked about the actual remix, yeah, it is insane that they actually made that work as well as they did. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Let me see here. What's another one that I had? I'll save my insane one for the end here.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we'll read a nice one first. We want to save the bad stuff for the end. It's not even bad, but this was YouTube user Paragati commenting on "Someday the Dream Will End" 8 years ago. "I was there that night." Also, I really love that start. "I was there that night. I was there that day at that exact concert, seated only a few meters away from Nobuo Uematsu himself. I can tell you, never had I shed happier tears of joy in my life. What an unforgettable experience. I remember the orchestra giving one encore after another as the crowd kept begging for more."
Wow.
And yeah, they get like a full like minute of standing ovation at the end of that video. I'll include some of it when I edit in the music, because yeah, like the one dude that like he's instantly like woo, like he's excited. He's down.
I don't blame him. I think I would be too in that moment.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read this one from YouTube user Wigamis, who who's a good username. Commented on the cover of Everlasting Love by Michelle Hifu 2 years ago. "Okay, so I watched this completely for nostalgic reasons. As I did, I looked in the description and saw that this was released on September 9th. It's kind of a big day, smiley face. For the public at large, it's the anniversary of the releases of both the Super Nintendo and the Sega Dreamcast. For me personally, 9/9 is my and my girlfriend's anniversary." Art. Which I thought was really cute and very sweet of them to share that. Also, September 9th, 2009, I was just talking about this, was when my grandfather passed away. It was 9/9/9, and I remember that for a few reasons. First of all, it was a very important day. It was also the release date of the Beatles rock band.
Oh, really?
and I remember my uncle asked me, I was working at GameStop at the time, and after the funeral, my uncle was like, "Can we go to GameStop and pick up the Beatles rock band, and can I use your employee discount?"
Yeah, that's awesome.
I remember that very well. So 9/9 is actually a very important day.
I didn't know. I guess this is hard information to track back then. I didn't realize the Super Nintendo released on September 9th. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, the Sega Dreamcast, yeah, we all remember the 9/9/99 thing.
99.
That dumb little date will be burned into my memory for the rest of my life, and I didn't even own a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Lastly, for the very dumb comment, again, I don't view this as offensive. I think it's in a pretty fun way.
It's just silly.
it's just silly. It's from YouTube user Blarg Almighty, which that's also sick. Blarg is like the Mario enemy, right?
It is. Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube user Blarg Almighty commented on Petite Chou-Fleur 9 years ago. Ha ha ha! Baguette, Eiffel Tower. So I will say, yeah, it's very silly. Also, I love that it was just a ho and then baguette and then Eiffel Tower, and like you couldn't even come up with another one. Like you couldn't add like a croissant or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
It's like it is so lazy, and I think that's what makes it really good. So I love Punch-Out. I think Punch-Out is maybe my pick for like most underrated Nintendo series.
Sure.
But you know, I remember when Punch-Out for Wii was like on its way out, it was coming out back in 2009, I think. And people were like, I don't know if like these racial stereotypes are going to play well anymore. And it's just like, to be fair, they are racial stereotypes, but they are painted with like the broadest brush possible. I find it hard to believe that there is any French person in the entire world that's mad about the fact that when you punch Glass Joe, that he explodes into croissants. Like I find it impossible to believe that anyone's upset about that, and that's kind of how I feel about this YouTube comment. It is so on the nose and stupid, and it's gibberish, and that's what I really liked about it.
There is not a pointed word in that sentence. I also love the I love it being spelled out. As like han essentially. Like it's really good. I also just love the idea that like you know French people are just running around saying baguette and Eiffel Tower. It's just so lazy. It's very good.
At least baguette is like it sounds French, whereas Eiffel Tower doesn't even sound French.
I don't even know if that's what they call it.
Yeah, I don't either, actually.
Like, yeah, it's very it's charming in how like pedestrian and dumb it is.
Yeah, I think not since the Paper Mario 1000-Year Door when you dial a really long number comment have I laughed as hard as I did at one of these dumb things. But anyway, that was the John Oates presents YouTube comment oversharing corner for this episode. And yeah, I guess we'll do our outro now. I guess I'll hand it off to Seth for a bit. We can advertise all the things we need to advertise.
Okay. Yeah. So of course, leave ratings, leave reviews on your podcatcher of choice. That's very, very appreciated. Send in voicemails by dialing 216-230-8540. The number again is 216-230-8540, or you can send them in to bitharmonypod@gmail.com to be played on the show. We love your voicemails, so please send them in. You can join the Discord to sound off on show topics, join the community. That's where we usually will poll. Matt will put out a tag and say, hey, if you have any voicemails or whatever, or here's what we're doing, so the Discord links are in the show notes. It's free. You can join. And yeah, support on Patreon for early access to the show and some other exclusive perks. It's a very weird time to be doing all of this right now. We're in a very big, we don't need to get into it, but it's a very big period of transition for All In Media and for our stuff and our Patreon and all of that. But there is some movement happening already. And I also want to thank people like Star Athena and John 32 who came in this past week at even just the 1-up tier. I really appreciate y'all's support, and both of them were very kind in saying like, hey, even though I came in at like literally the worst possible time, they're both very sweet and both very like, I trust you and I trust the future of what this is going to be. So I really appreciate y'all for doing that. I also really appreciate Solo, who came back to the Patreon at the Golden Banana tier in light of everything that happened this past week. So big thanks to Solo, but also just want to shout out, of course, our patrons who support us at the Golden Banana and Triforce tier. So I'll start with the Triforce tier. Also, this is going to be a bit of a different order than y'all are probably used to me reading these in, because A long, stupid set of circumstances caused me to lose my Patreon notes, so I just recompiled them in alphabetical order right before doing the show. So this is going to be a little bit of a different cadence maybe than y'all are used to. But please bear with me. Be patient with me. Okay. Thank you to our Triforce tier supporters. First of all, Adam Caparello, Bowza, Dan and Luma, Danielina Hosa, Foolish Fuji, John Cummins, Josh Vaughn, Sparky, the Don Rob, and Uncle Randy. Thank you so much to our Triforce tier supporters, and thank you to our Golden Banana tier supporters, Alan, #LookToTheCookie, Andrew Wilkins, Bill Tucker, Bob Loblaw, SAZ, Gamer Jason, Liam D, Marcus O'Neill, Phelan Ward, Rob Yapel, Shy Guy, Sean Ashton, Solo, and Tim A. Big thank you to all of them. You can join the Golden Banana tier for free for 7 days. Again, early access to this show, other stuff to come. I'm working on it. Please be patient with me, but thanks for your support on Patreon, especially now. Really appreciate it.
And hey, you losing your notes, now people will for sure know that that isn't just a pre-recorded Patreon read-off. We do it every week. It happens. So
do it live.
Just so you know. That said, our next episode is scheduled, I shouldn't say it's scheduled, but it is planned. We're planning to release it on August 25th. And that is going to be, God, is that really August 25th? Man, didn't realize that was, yeah, that's insane. We talked about it before we started recording, and we landed on Kirby Canvas Curse, correct?
Yes. I'm excited because I haven't really spent a lot of time, I feel like, with that soundtrack. So I'm excited to really like deep dive in it for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go too much into my thoughts on it, but gun to my head, I think it might be the best Kirby soundtrack. Maybe Forgotten Land would surpass it now, but like it's a lot of remixes, a lot of like electronic oriented remixes of previous Kirby music. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's a great game. It's a great soundtrack. Also, we finally get to do a Kirby episode, which I've been threatening to pull on everyone for months now. Otherwise, I guess all we have left then is our haikus.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go.
Who read first last time? Was that you? I think you read first last time.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Originally, I didn't know how I was going to approach this. Like you said, I originally was going to just base a haiku off of an individual song that I or you had picked. The main one that came to mind was the Someday the Dream Will End one. The problem with that, when I had written the haiku, it was so melodramatic, I was worried people were going to think I wasn't okay. And so I was trying to channel like feelings I had when I was 13.
Sure.
But it was, I didn't want to let that fly. So I redid my haiku like half an hour before we met up. So it's probably not that good of a haiku, but I couldn't do it to myself. I couldn't be that dude today. So I went a different direction instead. You'll probably be able to tell what that direction is once I read this off. Xylophones, harps, ska. Wonder how remixed me sounds. Hopefully less ums.
I like that. Remixed me is pretty good. I like that. Wow. Yeah. Hopefully less ums is pretty good too. That's a constant thing in the back of my head. I feel like I say way too much.
Oh, dude. You have no idea every time we record an episode how much I'm kicking myself over the ums and the likes.
I'm really bad about likes. Another thing, there's an right there. I am from the Midwest, so there's a lot of that sneaks into my speech. So yeah, there's a lot of that too. Okay, well, it's funny that you say that, because I took the tact of sort of the I guess very concept of remixing, but also it's been pretty impossible for me to think about anything other than kind of what has been going on the past week, and I'm really not trying to like draw too much attention to this, because like I don't want it to seem like one of those things where like somebody posts something mysterious on their MySpace page and you think like, wow, what's going on? I feel like I should reach out. I don't want it to seem like that, but it has been just plaguing my mind. And when I sat down and I thought about the concept of remixing music, I ended up kind of writing about it, I think, too, and this is just kind of what came out of me. So I made the haiku that I was capable of making for this episode. So bear with me. Okay. Remixing memory. New feelings, new perspectives. Teach me how we're here.
Okay.
So, there it is. That's what came out of me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. That sounds very hopeful and looking forward to the future as opposed to anything looking too much back. I think that's a healthy perspective given everything that's happened recently. And yeah, everyone, it's fine if you're listening to this in the future. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Just a lot of stuff happened last week. It's not. We're gonna be okay. Everyone's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right.
But yeah, I'm glad we decided last time that we were going to indeed do haikus for this episode. Yeah, I think those both turned out pretty good, better than I would have thought, honestly. That has been it for the episode. Taking us out this time. If you thought I was going to let you get away with only hearing one OC remix this episode, you're out of your mind. Taking us out this episode is Great Job from Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It is an OC remix of the Link to the Past ending theme by Insert Rupee. This is another one of my all-time favorite OC remixes. It's very chiptune-y. Also, Link to the Past is like maybe my favorite ending theme to a game ever. That is the one thing I'll say about Zelda music, is that overplayed, sure, but like that Link to the Past ending theme in particular is something insane.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Looking forward to coming back to talk about Kirby Canvas Curse next time. Again, enjoy the Great Job Link to the Past OC remix, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.